think I'm on the screen, Mike's. Me in the green screen. People, it's hump day and you're tuned in to the Curious Fijian live stream. We hope you've had a beautiful week. It is 5:05 and the music's going again, but we got that. There we go. Yeah, it's 5:05 and you're locked in, man. We hope you've had a good weekend. We hope you've caught up with all the fights. There's been some epic fights going on this week. John Haggerty has just obviously the last week won. We had to get the Muay Thai legend on, or soon to be legend, Joe Turner, with us, and we're going to bring him in straight away. We're not messing around this time. We're bringing him in straight away, and let's get that done. Joe Turner from the Muay Thai Hub, man. How you been?
I'm always good when I'm on this podcast, man. It's my favourite podcast.
You love to hear that because there's some real good ones out there.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. Do you know what? I've been waiting for this all day. I love coming in and chatting to you guys. There's always a lot to chat about when it comes to chatting with you lot.
No, like you said, man, we appreciate you coming on. You've got a lot to say as well. You got obviously you got a fight coming up this weekend. You've just relaunched your clothing brand. You've changed the logos and stuff like that. So, but we'll start off with your fight. How's camp been? Obviously you've had a bit of a layoff since your last fight. So what's that been like?
Stressful, man. Very very stressful. I've been put through my paces for this one. I believe it was Tom Kirk, funny enough, that said it not long ago. He said, you never get any... It never gets harder, you just get fitter. And then you start pushing yourself even more and more and more. And that's true. I generally feel like it does get like that. Every fight camp, I seem to be getting new goals and smashing through them. The team I've got here just do not let me... They do not take no for an answer. Like, every session, it's just pushing more and more and more, and then they bring hard sparring partners in that they know I'm going to struggle with, and it's just been hard, man. Obviously, like you said, I've had a layoff, so I put on a few pounds, let's put it that way. So the cut's been a massive difficulty, I'd say, like weight on my shoulders added to that. I started camp at 69 kilos. I'm weighing in on Saturday morning at 59.
Oh, are you around about the weight you'd like to be at this sort of stage, or have you got a bit of
perfect is how I'd describe it. Ideally, being a professional fighter, you don't want to be 3 days away from a weigh-in and be on weight, because you want to do the water cut. Like, in my opinion, this is my opinion, because if you can just avoid that 24-hour water cut, and you can still have that little bit of fat, an extra bit of weight on you, because water you can replace so quickly, whereas fat obviously takes a while to kind of put on compared to water. So yeah, I'm sitting around the perfect amount, I would say now. So I can do a little water cut on the morning in terms of have a little few sauna sessions, but it's just the right amount. It's not a dangerous amount. It's just the right amount. I've been doing so much research this week. I've given up my day job, which I'm sure we can go on to in a small bit.
You've given it up full time, or you've given it up just for this week?
I've given my day job up. I am no longer an electrician.
Wow, big
Which
news, big news.
the world does not know about now, until I've got it on here, so you guys are the first to kind of hear about it.
That's
There's more
big
big
news.
news, which I'm not allowed to announce officially yet. But yeah, let's just say I'm in the sport and I'm here to stay for a very,
How are you
very
going to leave
long
all the
time.
people? There's people here watching, there's viewers, there's fans of Joe
We've got,
Turner's, there's fans of the Muay Thai hubs, and he comes on and drops some gems like that and leaves us hanging.
yeah, I'm gonna leave you hanging because this is an excuse for you lot to get me back on it because I love coming on this podcast.
Maybe we have to do that one in person.
Yeah, I can speak to you guys about this in December. And there's a reason why I have to, and I can explain that to you in December. Yeah, in December, I'll happily explain it. But yeah, I am no longer ever, thank God, going to have to go onto a building site again.
What?
And it's been a very, very long road and a lot of hard work. And I'm taking a big risk doing it. But I'm doing it. I'm jumping.
Risk take rewards. But because I remember speaking to you when you first were going back into electrics, and I was like, because I've been trying to get off trade for God knows how long, and seeing someone dive into trade and want to go into the building sites, stuff like that, I was thinking, God, that's a lot, especially with training. Did you actually struggle with mixing the work and training in, and obviously running all the social medias?
Yeah, like I said, this camp's been a big mental toll on me, if I'm going to be honest. If anything, to be honest, now I'm coming out the back end of the camp. I'd say I'm probably mentally solid. Like, I feel great in terms of the cut, my fitness levels, etc., etc. But the amount of times I've felt stressed, the amount of times I've really mentally struggled for this camp because I got made. I've been an apprentice in the electrics, as you know. I got made redundant from that first apprenticeship I had. Um, that first apprenticeship I had was perfect for me. I wasn't working half the amount of hours I was in this new firm I was with, which allowed me to have more time to run my pages, to train, to effort and stuff like that. So I had to, you've got to be a grown up, you've got to go and get a job. So I had to go and find another firm that was willing to take me on. However, this firm, I would say, had another 20 to 25 more hours on the week.
Yeah.
Trying to do that whilst training for a fight, which you are headlining at the O2, and running the 4 social media pages I run, and my own social media, trying to sell the tickets, which I have done brilliantly for this fight. I've done 140 tickets, which is great for me. Trying to do that whilst you're surrounded by a load of, you know what it's like on a building site, trying to do that whilst you're surrounded by a load of tradies that do not get the world you come from in terms of the fight world was difficult, man. All whilst cutting 10 kilos.
And everyone on site thinks they're like proper rough as well. Like, yeah, I'll do this to him. I went out this weekend and done this, and
Yep.
and you've got a born killer there on site. He kills with his hands. He goes out there and does this.
I had a do you know what I had? Funny enough, I had a bloke that was a little bit cheeky on site. Let's say the week before I left, I accidentally drove a cherry picker into a plasterboard wall, and mate, I'm not made to be a tradesman. I'm made to punch people in the face and teach
Yeah,
people how to do it. Simple as. Um, sorry, my
that's right.
phone just fell over. I'm made to punch people in the face, and I'm made to teach people how to do it or interview them after they have done it. I'd done it, and the bloke was mouthing off like mad. And then one of the guys I work with went, "Have a look, look Joe up on YouTube." And the bloke did on his lunch break, and he went, "Come in," and he went, "Fucking hell, mate." He said, "You told me you're a fighter." I said, "You don't look like one." Like, and I went, "Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, it's cool." Like, and he was like, "Look, like, I didn't mean. I was just frustrated. I've had a bad morning, etc." I was like, "Mate, it's cool. Like, still to this day, I've never had a confrontation where it's led to physical kind of fights outside the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm out of the building trade, and I'm so happy. So
But
happy. I've got
I,
a big fight this weekend.
I feel like a lot of trained fighters don't really have a lot of confrontation outside. I feel like, whereas maybe a regular person, if someone was swearing at them, they'll kind of peacock and go and try have a fight. Whereas I feel like you know what you could do to someone, and you're comfortable with ego and everything. You don't need to really go and beat up someone in the street or beat up someone on site, because you know what you could do to that person, an untrained person.
Mate, you said it perfectly. Me and my friends, we've said it quite a lot lately. When I like, mate, don't get me wrong, I'm a 22-year-old lad. I'm 23 this month. I like to go out. When I'm in a camp, I'll go out and I'll quite happily won't drink. To me, it's a distraction when you're weight cutting and stuff like that, because you can go out and still cut weight and still have a good time. It is possible, and I'm a prime example of that. I say to my friends all the time, you can tell that someone, in particular in a nightclub, has never been punched in the face before.
Mm.
And when I say that, you've got some people that act like they're invincible. And I mean, they act like they're invincible. They will take the mick out of anyone they see, and they kind of sit there like, "What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?" And I'm sat there thinking, if you've been beaten up before, and I mean beaten up badly, like I've been beaten up in the ring, I've been humbled a lot. I can't be asked for the drama, man. I keep my mouth shut wherever I go. I take the mick with my friends and stuff like that. If I don't know someone, I'm not going to mimic them or take the mick out of them. Like I said, you can tell when someone hasn't had a humbling, and yeah, I can't be bothered for it, man. I've had a sore jaw before. I've had a bad nose. You've seen me smashed up after fights, man. I can't be bothered for it. My head's taken enough punishment.
But we'll get on to this weekend. Obviously, you're fighting on the Hitman versus CFS. It's a big. There's two big cards. There's one on Saturday, one on Sunday. You're headlining the one on Sunday. What's the process been like working with both of them? And give us a little backstory on your opponent. Do you know much about him? What kind of fight are we looking at?
So I've sparred Corey, my opponent, before. His trainer, Simon Forrest, used to come down to spar with me at my old gym, Shin Kick. And I believe Corey works with Simon, or did at the time, or something like that. I know Simon's a roofer. And he brought Corey down with him. Am I allowed to swear on it?
Yeah, yeah.
He's fucking enormous, Corey, the guy I'm fighting on Sunday. He's a really, really big lad, but he's very skinny, so he can get down to low weights. And he's very, very tall. Until I think about a year and a half ago, he was unbeaten. He walked through everyone they put in front of him, and then he fought Alfie Pierce, who's only just lost, however's in the Rajadam Stadium rankings in Thailand. That was Corey's first loss. Corey is no muppet. Um, but like I said, I've had a brilliant camp. We've got a really, really great plan going into this fight, which obviously I'll be stupid to say. We've got a really, really good plan going into this fight. I'm very, very excited for it. I can say expect the best out of me, because I feel like the best I am. Mate, I'm 2 days away from my weigh-in, and I feel like I could fight now as I am, and I've barely eaten anything all day.
You've
I,
peaked.
I
You've peaked at the perfect time. You're sort of you're in that. A lot of fighters talk about it, where their coaches and stuff will try and make them peak right at the right time with
Yeah,
food, everything, and that sounds like that's where you're at.
yeah. Do you know what? I am normally shitting myself at this point of a camp. This one, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Like, the smile on my face. I'm looking forward to getting in there. Like I said, I've got a big, big support coming for me and all the guys from 21st Century. There's 7 of us on the card, including a couple of juniors, which I train. I'm going to be cornering my juniors on the day, then headlining that night. I'm excited, man. Hitman approached us with the fight offer. Dave said to me, "We've got an offer." He didn't even tell me who. He just said, "It's this date. It's Combat Fight Series versus Hitman at the time, which huge, huge show. Do you want to take it?" And I went, "Who's the opponent?" And he went, "Do you trust me?" And I went, "Yeah, I trust you. Of course I do." "Do you want to fight?" And I went, "Go on then, let's do it." And he went, I went, "Out of interest though, I have said yes already. Who is it?" I went, "Oh, one of Simon Forrest's lot." And Simon's got quite a few boys around about that way. And I went, "Is it Corey Chettle?" And he went, yeah, it rings a bell. I went, yes! I said, that's going to be a sick fight. Because Corey's big. He knows me. But it's a good fight for me. Very good fight. It's a big name for me to beat. And I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to get on that big platform. I love fighting at the O2. It's always good. There's a Five Guys outside.
Perfect for straight after that, the Five
Mate,
Guys knockout.
wait. I've been researching all week the food I can eat after weigh-ins that are best for me but taste nice at the same time. Yeah, mate, everything this camp so far, touch wood, I've just touched a desk, has been perfect. And I mean spot on. Tickets, strength and conditioning, diet, fitness, the lot.
Do you have a nutritionist or like a dedicated strength and conditioning coach, or is it sort of do you just kind of trust yourself and do your own thing?
So I've had this conversation quite a few times. I'll start with my nutritionist, my strength and conditioning. At So Martial Arts, we've got a big strength and conditioning area, which is amazing. We've got everything we need: sprint machine, weights, the lot. I've got Jin, a good friend of mine, who's very clued up on the science of S&C, especially for fighters. He's basically tailored an S&C plan over the past 10 weeks to fit me. We've changed weights all the time, done loads of work with resistance bands. It's S&C work, but at the same time revolves around throwing punches with like explosiveness. So like he'll have me holding weights and I'll explode back slow and like things like that, and using bands, using my own body weight for certain explosive exercises, using my legs, which will help my kicks. It's all had reasoning behind it. There's not been one time where I've gone to him, so what's this do? And he'd gone like, right, this helps with your right hand, this helps with your left hand, this helps with your kicks, this helps with your teeps, your balance, this, that, and the other. There's always been a reason behind it. In terms of nutrition, I've got to thank Katie.
Yeah.
I've got to thank Katie, man. She's tailored basically a plan for me fight week, which you know full well, man. When you're a fighter, you've interviewed enough of us. We're obsessed with this game, obsessed with it. And nutritionists are expensive, man. And unfortunately, in Muay Thai, at the stage it's at the moment, it's heading in a great direction. And we can get into that later on. It's heading into a great direction, but there ain't a lot of money in it. Ain't a lot of money whatsoever. So Muay Thai fighters, they can't afford nutritionists. Can't. So we have to rely on doing this stuff ourselves. Have to. Um, like I said, this week I've studied stuff to eat after the weigh-ins, and I'm still not completely clued up on it. The whole reason why, if I'm going to be honest, the whole reason why I did the post the other day on water loading on the Muay Thai Hub and stuff like that, I want to learn more about it. And if someone puts something up useful on it, I'm going to take that away.
Mm.
But going back to it, yeah, man, I learn a lot from Dave, Katie. Dave's very clever. He's going to hate me for saying this, but he's very clever and clued up in terms of dieting. He's done every diet under the sun. He's a big fan of fasting and stuff like that. I haven't done any fasting for this camp. But Katie's very good in terms of cutting and what foods to eat, what foods not to eat. This week, obviously, it's been no carbs, no salt, cutting out fibre, water loading. There's so many foods you can't eat. And the knowledge I have now compared to 10 fights ago, completely different. Completely different. Things I thought were right were wrong. Yeah.
Does it help having experienced people like Katie, experienced people like Dave, who have been around the game for a long time? Obviously, I know you do a lot of coaching with them, you work with them, they've been your coaches for God knows how long. So does it help putting all your trust into people like that?
100%. 100%. It's very hard to look at someone for advice that hasn't been there and done it. In any aspect of life, let alone fighting. These guys have cut weight. These guys have fought at the highest of the highest level. I know they've been in my shoes. Yo! I know they've been there and done it. I know they've kind of done every aspect of the fight game. And I know they're very intelligent and there's reasoning behind it. Again, I always ask, why? What's this do? What's this do? There's reasoning behind why they tell me not to eat fibre on certain days. There's reasons why they tell me not to have salt. There's reasons why they tell me to cut out carbs, like when I get close to a fight. And I'm taking things away from that and I'm learning it. so that when I am in Katie and Dave's position where I'm a full-time coach, I can pass that on as such.
What's it been like with you? Obviously, still running the brands Muay Thai Hub. We know it's hit major. Like obviously, you're doing massive numbers at the minute. You're everywhere. You're at Leapfrog shows. You're doing commentary. You're training for a fight. You were on site doing sparking. So how has growing your brand been, and how has it taken off?
A fucking nightmare. Let's be on it. Being honest, it's been hours and hours and hours of time where I've been exhausted, time where I should have been resting, time where I should have been asleep. It's been a lot of half one nights in the evening. It's been a lot of 7 a.m. wake ups. Actually, no, even earlier than that because I need to get up and finish the editing. Doing it whilst I'm on my lunch break at work, whilst I should be eating. I've then been eating whilst I'm working, which has then annoyed my employers. I'm really sorry about that if you're watching. Um, I've been warned at work so many times for being on my phone when I'm accepting collabs from people. Like it's just completely, if I'm going to be honest, in the most selfish way, it's taken over my life, and I wouldn't want anything else because it is going to be my future. But like man, it's just been a headache, and I would recommend to anyone to start their own pages, but to get it to a point where the videos are top notch quality. You've got your subtitles, you've got your music, you've got your intros, like you guys do. You guys know how hard it is to do what you do. To go to shows every weekend with Leapfrog as well has been an absolute privilege, but again, very time consuming, very draining whilst you're in a camp as well. But we got it done. I've loved every second. And yeah, man, I think part of the reason why I'm just in such a great mood whilst cutting weight at the moment is because everything is heading in a really, really good direction on all places of my life at the moment. In terms of my fight career, I've got a big fight at the weekend. The gym is doing incredible. Leapfrog's going strength to strength. My pages are going strength to strength. The MMA page is kicking off. I'm getting into MMA more. I've got MMA merch for the first time ever. The kickboxing page is getting strong. The boxing page is getting strong. I'm going to boxing shows and I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm not only a Muay Thai boy now.
Did you like MMA and boxing beforehand, or is it something you've got more into while being at the shows and running the pages?
If I'm gonna be honest, I was a fan of MMA before, but only UFC with the big names. Um, I've now started going to Leapfrog's MMA shows, and I've loved it, man. Just seeing the whole amateur MMA scene, the whole raw aspect of it, the whole slightly bigger MMA gloves, but more swinging aspect, and they just love to brawl. And Vulcanite, I was at the other day, mate. It was the talent on that show, and it was free to watch for Leapfrog subscribers. Just pointing that out there, free to watch. Like, and I'm sat there. My job is to film them guys. Like, that is the best job in the world. Like, and I've got into that, but I've got to admit, Charlie Herdman's been a big part of my new love for boxing since I've started going to his shows and being involved with his shows on the Boxing Hub, getting involved with advertising the fights, going to shows, filming his fights, getting to know his fighters that are regular on his show, getting to know Charlie, how great of a character that bloke is. Like, it's really shown me on the amateur boxing scene, especially, that there's a lot more in common with them guys than there is in the Thai boxing scene, the MMA scene. They've all got so much in common, and the thing is, they all want to grow. They all want to grow. They've all got dreams, and they're all trying to get it.
Yeah, we had Charlie on last time we done the live stream a couple of weeks ago, and it was impressive what he's got going on there. I know he's got some big news to drop this week as well. Obviously, he's in the comments. He's got Yes Joe and Get Up, so he respects the comments from you. What's been your favorite part of this sort of journey with commentary and doing the fighter interviews? What do you prefer? Do you prefer filming the content and editing it and putting it out? Do you prefer interviewing the fighters, or do you prefer the commentary side?
Um, the things that stick out for me, there's probably two things here. Meeting the people I've met, I've spoke to people that I could potentially fight one day, and I've had really great conversations with them in terms of talking about the love we have for fighting, talking to coaches about how their fighters got on, talking to fighters about how they got on, where they come from, what they want to do one day, interviewing fighters, what's the dream, interviewing kids. Why did you start this sport, mate? And they're telling me all these stories, mate. It's so cool, and it's something that I think. Do you know what? How many people actually get to do this? And the second part of that will be the feeling I give people, without sounding big-headed. Like when I do a post for someone that's took me a long time, or I do a video that looks really, really good, and I manage to edit it just right and make it look good, make a fighter look good, advertise their fights, promote them as such. And they send me a long-winded message saying, "Holy shit, mate, that's just made my day. Oh my god, this is brilliant!" Like, and this is like an amateur fighter or even a professional fighter. I've had both message me. That makes my day seeing stuff like that, and it makes me realise that what I'm doing is doing good, and I'm helping the sports. I'd like to think I am.
Yeah.
Um, the yeah, the feeling I give people and meeting the people I've met, and to get my name out there. If I'm going to be honest, I want to be known as someone that's trying to do good, like trying to genuinely do nice things for people.
Yeah, now you can tell though because you're everywhere. You're sort of you're always respectable for people. Obviously the way you do your interviews is brilliant. The commentary, like I think that's your most natural, other than fighting. Obviously, that's probably the commentary. The way you can break things down, like that. I could definitely see a future in that for you as well, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, and obviously it's my life. Fighting is you can stick me in a commentary box for a boxing fight, an MMA fight, a Thai fight, kickboxing fight. I will quite happily sit there and talk about it, and I will break everything down, and I will happily do that, like with passion, and to make those fighters look good, to advertise that show. Like, that's another level feeling, completely. And now obviously I'm with Leapfrog. They're opening up doors for me that I've never had before. Um, And like I said, they're going from strength to strength, as well as obviously where I am now as in my gym, stuff like that. I've got the freedom now with Dave and Katie. They kind of allow me to do what I can do, what I'd like to do in the gym, training my own juniors. Mate, it's brilliant, brilliant.
Obviously, we're just going to bring the boy Rain in quickly as well because we know he's got a
Good
few.
commentator, Rain.
Yeah, you took Rain under your wing. Rain. No, no audio. Get him out of here, Mike. He don't know how to work a fucking mic. Here we go. It's back to me and you. But obviously you've rebranded the Muay Thai Hub. So quick two questions. Why did you want to take away from what it looks like with the Muay Thai Hub there? It's very iconic to the porn. To the porn. But that's what caught my eye for it anyway. And why did you want
Hello,
to rebrand
hello,
it to
hello.
black? Yeah, we can hear you, man.
But what? Am I back in?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
you're
back
in.
in, my
You're
man. You're
in.
back in. So,
Yes, Joe.
hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, man. How are you? You good?
I'm great, thank you. I'm always good when I'm with you boys.
How's your camp been?
Camp's been mad, man. Camp has
Huh?
been mad. Very, very
What?
busy.
What?
So to answer your question just a second ago, whilst I've got wake up brain at the moment, so I need to do one thing at a time. Um, I rebranded the page. Hang on.
Yeah, he's got the mugs as well.
Someone made that for me.
What does it
It's
say?
got Joe
Don't be a melt. What's it say
the,
on
there's,
there?
if you can see it.
Joe the Melt. He's got
Oh
merch coming out as well, people.
no. I was having a meltdown the other day in training. Typical weight cut, and someone made that for me because I was being a melt apparently. So they thought they'd make me feel better. I branded the Muay Thai Hub because I put my sensible head on in terms of actually mass selling the brand in terms of the clothing, because the new supplier I've got is genuinely amazing. Like genuinely brilliant. The cotton, the polyester, it's brilliant. It's good for training. It's good for just wearing in general, and it's affordable. I've purposely put the price mark so low down to the point where you can't really argue it, and it's delivered to your door for completely free. I've put the delivery free as well. I want to get it out there. Long story short, and to get it out there, I've already done the Pornhub logo. I want to appeal to absolutely everyone now. And let's be honest, like, of course, you guys find it funny. I do too. But the amount of times I've walked down the road and I've had some funny looks. Funny
It's
looks.
because
And I've had,
it does it like that's like the first time I saw it and how it caught my eye. It generally looks like you look as if you're going to look back. You're like, I'm going to see Pornhub. He must work for Pornhub, and you turn around and you're like Muay Thai Hub, and then you're like, do you know what? Marketing's on point.
yeah.
Yeah, his marketing's
But,
bang
like,
on, man.
I've had people kind of say to me, I'm uncomfortable wearing your tops. And it got me thinking, do you know what? Like, I need to think here. And I sat there for months. And I wasn't lying when I said it took months and months of designing and finding the right kind of thing. And I decided to do something really simple. Change the orange to white. So now, there soon will be. Again, you guys are the first to hear about it. Once this first batch comes out, the next one will be the Pornhub option. You're going to have an option as a customer to have the inappropriate Pornhub choice or the appropriate one which you can get for your kids with white. So you've got your choices here. There we go. Charlie's just put there. He's currently wearing the new boxing one. Like, I've had such good feedback on it. But then again, you've got. I've now allowed people to have their funny option and their sensible option. That's the plan. That's why I changed it. The boxing gloves as well. Still to this day, like I said, Muay Thai it's a growing sport. It's mainly for the Muay Thai. I kind of put the boxing gloves on them. If you see on the Instagram logos and stuff, a lot of people still don't know what Muay Thai is. Like, people think. Sorry, my phone keeps falling over. A lot of people think Muay Thai is like a karate kind of. When they see like even my friends to this day, they all go Muay Thai and all that. They do. And then they come to a fight show and they see us put gloves on and they're like, oh my God, this is actual fighting. I'm like, yeah, what do you expect? And I put the boxing gloves there to show that this is a brutal sport. And it's a sport that involves boxing gloves and rules that are very similar to boxing and cage fighting, kind of all mixed in one. And there's a lot of blood and brutality and it's great.
No, it's good that you've got the two options there as well. Because like you said, maybe some people would feel uncomfortable wearing it. Especially if they were going to put it on their kids or maybe a woman or something like that, etc.
Yeah, that was my thoughts, to be honest. Like, I had a few people come up to me saying, I've got your tops, and I'm like, I never see you wearing them. And they're like, yeah, because I keep getting funny looks. And then they kind of gave me a few ideas, and I was like, do you know, you're onto something here. Like, not even in terms of, I never want to make money from it. Obviously, it'd be nice to kind of live on a private yacht one day and be as big as Nike. But it's not what I want from that. I want my pages to be somewhere that's helpful for people, somewhere that's sharing the sport we all love, somewhere that's sharing the boxing, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai that we all love.
So if you want to purchase it, but obviously you don't live around your area, how would what's the sort of
It's
navigation with
very,
that?
very simple. I've got a list which I keep on my phone, which is probably not the best way to do it, but again, I'm still learning. Of the stock I have, I check stock probably once every month to make sure that list is definitely correct. People message me going, hello, have you got any of this in large, this style, this, etc., etc. I'll check if I have it. I'll confirm the prices with you. I'll confirm with you that delivery is absolutely free of charge. You transfer me the money, very, very simple, into the new Muay Thai Hub business account, which I've only just managed to start. Again, another headache. It gets posted out the next day. That's literally it, man. I pack it. I've got a whole drawer at my house full of postage parcels, and I just literally take them out one at a time. I handwrite every single parcel that I sell. They all get a little note saying thank you for supporting me. It's hard work doing that while training for a fight, running the pages.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, man. There's a lot
Busy.
of mixing it in. But if you can still function off of that and get the jobs done and win the fights and get to where you want to be, then I don't see any problem in doing it.
Yeah, man, it's going strength to strength. If I'm going to be honest, like I said, everything is looking up. Touch wood.
I do want to touch on the John Haggerty obviously becoming the 2-sport world champion. Did you watch the fight? If so, what did you make of the performance?
I watched it obviously the next morning. If I'm going to be honest, obviously it was stupid o'clock in the morning for us. I was shocked, man. I was praying. I'm being honest, like as an honest UK Muay Thai fan. Nongo was one of he's the goats, man. He's one of the goats. Like the bloke was unbeatable, and I had every hope in my body that Haggerty was going to win because it's massive. If he won that fight, it was going to be huge for UK Muay Thai. Not only putting Haggerty on the map as a champ, but with the British, we can smash up goats and all that. And he did it, man.
What about the kickboxing fight? Did you manage to catch any of that?
Yes. Again, watched it after. Buzzing for him, man. Like, after he knocked out Nongo, I knew he was going to beat Andrade. Is it Andrade? How you pronounce his surname?
I think so, yeah.
I knew he was going to do it. Like, when you're that on that much of a high and that much of a momentum after knocking out one of the greatest fighters to ever live in Muay Thai, you've got to be on some sort of like rush going into that fight. Like, I am a king. Like, that's how I would feel. That's how I would feel if you just knocked out arguably the greatest of all time, like one of the greatest of all times, and you're going in there with a guy that's just a current champion. There's levels, man, and Haggerty showed that, and he was in there to get him out fast. And good, he was like, and it's no disrespect to his opponent whatsoever, but it's good to see him do that, man. He's killing it, absolutely killing it, and he's showing that hard work pays off.
Would you say he's the best English striker out there at the minute? In all sports, like just if we're talking combat sports and English, he has to be one of the best strikers in English.
See, I was trying to think that in case I missed someone out in the UFC or something like that. But in terms of striker, Haggerty by far.
Like, because I would back him to go into a MMA fight against someone who's not wrestling dominated, and it could be a bit of a stand up. And I reckon he pieces 90% of people up who want to stand up with him.
Let's put
pieces people up, man. He's brutal.
I would not like to be hit by that bloke in 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, big time, man. Like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. Cool. Nah. And that's a professional fighter speaking. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, there's a time where you have to kind of go, nah, I'm all right.
Not today.
Haggerty he's another level animal. And even, I think, people were saying about him fighting Liam Harrison, who obviously Liam was one of the possible greatest of all time in terms of Britain. And even Liam was like, look, guys, I haven't got that much long left. Haggerty's on another level at the moment, like, kind of thing.
He's outlandish.
Like, I don't think there's anyone in the UK that can give Haggerty a run for his money other than possibly Nico Carrillo.
Nico Carrillo.
I would like to see that fight.
I think he's fighting. I just seen he's fighting Nongo. Yeah, I didn't think Nico Carrillo was in their weight class. He's flipping massive.
That's why, and this is why someone asked me about this not long ago. They went Nico Carrillo or Jonathan Haggerty, and Haggerty on paper is Nico's the underdog in that fight. They're on paper, let's say. But what you've got to take into account is the brains that Nico has behind his camp. JP, his trainer, is very, very clever at picking people apart, putting game plans together. Nico, like you said, is enormous for that weight. He's a big, big fighter for that weight class. And if he pieces up Nongo like Haggerty did, that's a big, big domestic fight. Big domestic fight. Like, and there's every reason for that fight to happen.
What about if Nongo just had like an off day and he pieces the shit out of Nicaragua?
Well, then we'll find out. Then we'll. But even Haggerty said, I saw on a video not long ago. Haggerty said, Nongo deserves his rematch because Haggerty did get him out there. And like you said, he might have had an off day.
He got him out quick, yeah.
Nah, he did get him out quick.
He got him out there quick.
He
So
did.
for one of the considerably greatest of all time to be pieced up that quickly is not. You don't see that very often.
Mm.
And for him to be on the run he was on, then suddenly just get smashed by Haggerty that quick, not seen that often. No, so I agree with Haggerty in terms of saying, do you know what? Maybe he does deserve a rematch. I think he does. But I think let Haggerty have some fun, man. He's smashing everyone up. Let him call someone out. He's just won the title. Like, let him fight a few people first, and then start calling people out. And yeah, there's a lot of big potential fights in that weight division. Big fight.
That's brilliant, man. Obviously, thank you for coming on as well, because I know you're getting off to training at 6 o'clock. You got to do them last hard, grueling sessions. Is there anything we've missed? Is there anything we've missed that you want to touch on quickly before we let you go?
Could I just say some thank yous to people?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
For this camp especially, my team, Katie, Dave, everyone at 21st Century, Jin, Finn, my pad man, they've been my rock, like, quite literally. I know that sounds really like soppy. They've really been my backbone for this fight camp. My parents especially as well, they put up with a load of shit. My little sister, bless her, is 12 years old, she's in the car with me all the time, going to training with my mood swings and stuff like that. I've had to deal with a lot this fight camp. Emotionally, I've been a arsehole to be around this fight camp. I have, and I'm starting to realise that now. And it comes when you're losing so much weight. I'd like to thank everyone that put up with me at work. Another one, I'd like to thank my friends that I haven't seen in a very, very long time, because I've had to make a lot of sacrifices for this fight. I haven't seen my friends, basically. I haven't made enough time for them. And I apologise for that. I'm going to do you all proud on Sunday. And I'd like to thank Leapfrog Fight TV for giving me the opportunities they've given me. Because, yeah, man, they're killing it, and they're helping my life be better.
That's brilliant.
And yeah, the guys at my gym, I love them to pieces, and they are the best team in the world. And I genuinely believe that. They are the best team in the world. So yeah, my team, my family, my friends, Leapfrog, who I consider my family anyway. I do you all proud on Sunday, and I love you all.
Massive good luck to you as well, and we hope you smash it.
Yeah,
we
man.
hope you get everything that comes to you. Obviously, headlining as well. So people, if you haven't got a ticket, you can. I think there's still tickets available. The pay-per-view is out. I'm assuming the pay-per-view will be in your link in the bio or something.
Yeah, I will be advertising it nearest time.
So people head over and watch that, because it is a mega card. And Joe, thank you for coming on, man. We'll definitely catch up with you when you got that news to drop.
Yeah, like I said, December I can announce this big news.
Wishing you the best of luck, man.
I'm more than happy to come travel to you guys. I love getting a chat with you guys. Last thank is obviously to you guys for having me on. I absolutely love being on.
Nah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Do your shit, man.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to get off to training now.
Laters, brother.
Yeah, see you later, brother.
Have a great evening. All right, I will speak to you all soon. And see you later.
Laters, Joe. What guy? Do you know what's happening to me? I can't see the my camera's blocking the what do you call it? The green room.
My camera is so awful. This camera's so bad.
What do I look like, people? Am I is the lighting all right? Because I feel like one side looks really dark on my face.
Is it like an off-coloured blue smurf?
Does the lighting actually look all right though or not?
Yeah, the lighting looks fine.
I need to I'll tell you what I do. I need to zoom my camera in.
My lighting, mine looks bad.
Maybe change your Right, we've got Tycee Gallagher coming on.
Oh, she's here.
Oh, Tycee.
Oh!
We got the champ. The champ is here. We've got the Commonwealth champ with us, Tycee Gallagher. How's camp been? How's everything been? Are you feeling ready?
Yeah, feel good. Feel really good actually. Can't wait now. I just feel longer.
1 minute. I think my Mike's
My
is that.
my I can't hear.
Oh, maybe Tice. I think there's something wrong with the audio on your one.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Clear.
How's camp been?
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, can't complain. But yeah, this is the annoying stage now where like it's like I just want to fight. Like waiting
Waiting,
around. Yeah.
game
Do you get
plan.
antsy waiting around?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you get antsy waiting around? You just want it to be like now.
A little bit, yeah. Like I'm trying to find things to do when there's nothing to do. I need to just rest and chill, and I'm like, I just want to do something because my mind's just like on it.
Yeah.
That's the stage I'm at the minute, but yeah, like everything's gone well though, so can't complain.
What's the has this been more of a technical game plan sort of camp for you? Or has it just been just a regular sort of what you do anyway?
Yeah, it's different because it's like I'm adapting to how I beat this girl. It's not going to be the same as how I've beat any other opponent. So it's going to be like it has been like focusing solely on how we beat her and what style we use to beat her. So yeah, it's been a bit different. And I went into camp fit, and my weight was good. So it wasn't like a fitness camp or a fat camp, like trying to lose the weight. It was just purely boxing, which was yeah, it's good.
That's
You've
what
had
it should
quite
be.
yeah, you've had I wouldn't say it's not been like a massive long camp, but obviously you started camp going warm weather training. Is that something you'll try to incorporate in all your camps now going forward?
Definitely, that was honestly that was unreal. That was like we needed that, and obviously I'd never done it before. And me and Tony went there, and we were like, wow, like I felt ready to fight in them after them 10 days. Like, and we still had 7 weeks of camp left, so it was like, oh yeah, that was really key to. All we did was box, and when we weren't training, we was just watching boxing, and then like it was just constant boxing. It was like needed it for my mind, and obviously physically it was hard, but yeah, mentally it was really good. Put me in a good place.
Did you see anything in obviously your opponent? She's 17-0. She's the world champion. I think she's actually ranked fourth or third on the Ring magazine as well. Um,
Yeah.
did you see anything in her game when taking the fight? Are you confident going into it? Are you a bit nervous? What is the mental sort of side going in?
I'm confident. I'm really confident. Like, as long
Yeah.
as I do what we know I need to do and the game plan, I don't see how she beats me. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I feel like,
The confidence. Come on.
yeah, like, but
Love that.
that's not saying it's going to be easy because it's going to be really,
Of
really
course.
hard. Like, she's a world champion for a reason. She's 17-0, undefeated. Like, I'm going to give her the respect she deserves. But if I do what I know I have to do, then yeah, it's and I'm gonna have to dig deep at times. But yeah, I'm fully confident that I'm gonna win this fight.
Have you had to watch lots of film this fight, or is there a lot of film of her? I know you said to me before you were struggling to find bits and bobs.
Yeah, we was, and then I found out the other day that they've deleted the 2 videos she had on YouTube up anyway as well. But we, to be fair, we did get some good footage. We've got a few fights sent to us. Got the exclusives over in France. So no, we've seen quite enough to what we need to see. So yeah, that wasn't a problem. But when we took the fight, there was barely it. We had to hunt to find what we needed to find. But yeah, there's not much of her because she's not boxed out of her hometown. So it's like she's not got a big TV deal or anything. So there wasn't much
How
of
did she
her.
win a title?
God,
Like,
I have no idea, no idea. And like, she won't fight out of her hometown. Like,
So
strange.
she just fights in Douai every time, basically.
Yeah, and she would have been offered big fights. Like, to be fair, we we asked, like, can we try and get the fight on the Katie Taylor undercard the day after? And they were like, no, we're not coming out of France. It's like, it's crazy.
Huge as well. And the Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron undercard.
Anyone would, like, jump at that chance.
In
but,
Ireland as well, the free
you know what I
arena.
mean? You know what I
What is she
mean?
doing? What is she
You
doing?
reckon she's a bit scared then?
God knows, but she's pretty comfy in Douai for whatever reason. But
Do you know any fighters she's fought against?
I don't know. Nah, not really. They're all kind of like from all over. To be fair, I don't think
Yeah.
she's ever boxed anyone from here either.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah.
worried about the sort of what the judging could be like then? Has that crossed your mind at all?
It's crossed my mind, but it's like the way I'm looking at it is like, I can't leave it close enough to go to like for the judges to sway. Like I can't. That's my job. I need to win convincingly every round, because if it's close or it's like, oh, that could have gone either way, it's going to go to her. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, because it's a world title, I'm sure that we will have like a judge from here, judge from there, and then a neutral judge. So hopefully it's as fair as it can be, to be honest.
Yeah, it have to be done all properly, I'm pretty sure, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's not like just a normal show over there where it would be all of her judges, to be fair. So yeah.
And it's weird because it's not even on a TV network or anything. And it's
Yeah.
a world title fight. WBO as well, like a big, like a
big
good,
one.
like a nice one.
I know. It's crazy.
It's strange, isn't it? It's strange how she's only boxed people in her own, like, well, just in her own comfort, and never travelled out.
I know.
That says a lot though as well, isn't it? Like, why would you want to travel out? Like, it's like you must be scared. She's on the rocks. She's on the rocks. You got me. Especially to get offered the Katie Taylor fight. Come on, like, everyone's jumping at that. You would jump at it.
I would
You've already jumped at it. You're looking to go to her backyard.
I said I would fight on that undercard for free. I swear to God I would, just to get the opportunity. Like that would be the experience would be unreal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah, it's good. It's I just got to bring that belt home and then have big fights.
Have you spoken to her at all?
Nah, I haven't spoken to her.
I don't think she speaks any English. I think she's like proper French. Like
proper
you should drop her. You should drop her something in French, like a little DM or something, just get under her skin.
Because I actually seen when the fight first got announced, I started searching her up and that, and I found a few interviews online. Obviously, they were just in French. I didn't end up watching them, but when I was reading some of the descriptions in that, it was something to do with she was struggling to get fights in the UK, or she was being very awkward, and they just wouldn't make the fights with her. I'm not sure which one it was, but that would make more sense because she's the world champion. They obviously probably want her to come over and fight. She doesn't want to come over and fight. It probably makes a bit of sense now that that's probably why it was a bit awkward for her. But like I said, if you win this fight, the sky's sort of the limit.
It will go off. But the first thing I need to win the fight. Like, but yeah, it's gonna just rock it off.
Like, Are you sort of ready for like winning a title like that? You could legitimately become an overnight superstar. Like your life could change overnight in the sense of people noticing you, the fame side of it, followers, like everything could sort of change. Are you sort of ready for that?
Clouty.
Don't know. I like to keep things under the radar, like, you know, and just even now when I'm like out in Luton to the shops and that, and people like see me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm guaranteed to people are like, you're right, Tyson, already in Luton. So obviously Luton's small, but it's like, am I ready for that? Like everywhere else, I don't know. I just want to box. I don't even care about it. I genuinely don't, because I'm still just like the most normal person.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it will be nice to get the recognition. Do you know what I mean? I've worked so hard and like for 15 years now, and this is what I've dreamed of for forever. So, but with that comes the other stuff, and I'm sure I'll just have to take
adapt
it.
to it.
Yeah.
And to do it in our own back garden as well.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Best story.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why. How many tickets did you get for the fight, and like how many people do you roughly have going over?
Well, they only gave me 50 tickets. I asked for 100 to start with, they only give me 50, and then I'm not sure why, and then a few people have been able to contact them directly and get tickets and stuff. So I'm not sure how many I'll have over there. Maybe like 80. But still, like, if the fights I've watched I have, like, it's so quiet and like there's no atmosphere. I'm like, they ain't gonna know what's coming with all the
Yeah,
they're gonna
rowdy.
be going crazy. But yeah,
That could put her off.
maybe
Fully
because I
might not be
doubt she
used
would
to
have had
that.
that before. I doubt.
Nah, that's that L Town power.
You know, literally, gonna be loud.
What sort
Yeah.
of is it in like an arena? Is it in a hall? Where do you
It's
know
in
much
like
about
it's
the
in like a
venue?
hippodrome thing. It's like a it looks like an old theatre type, like I don't know. Looks alright to be fair. I don't think it's massive, but yeah.
It should be good. Did you
Yeah.
like now you're fighting for a world title? Obviously, we know you won the Commonwealth, and we will touch on the performance at the Commonwealth as well. But sort of when you thought of I'm going to turn pro, I'm going to do because we know you wasn't actually going to turn pro. You were sort of and ahhing. Did you think world title in this short space of time?
Not in this short space of time, no. Not in 8 fights. Not in 8
That
fights.
is mad, isn't it?
crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I remember doing my first ever IFL interview a few years ago, and I was saying, like, they were like, "Where do you want to go?" I'm like, "I want to be a world champ. 100. If I'm gonna do it, I want to be a world champion." But yeah, not like this. Didn't think it'd come this soon. But I've really got a shout to Tony for this because he's a grafter for all of these opportunities. Literally, like, because I weren't even supposed to be fighting for the world title. I got mandatory for the European title, so that was always going to be the plan. And then obviously this came up, and Tony was just on it like straight away, and then got me the opportunity. So
What's having someone like Tony actually done for your career? Obviously, we know he's user his sort of like you, Frankie, Tom Ansell. User his first sort of fighters of
yeah,
him being a like his own sort of coach, and not
yeah.
being like the second in the corner. So, what has that been like for you? Obviously, putting all your trust in him, and what's this process been like?
It's been easy because literally I just, when you just can feel like good energy. I can proper feel good energy from people, and with him, it's like I can trust him. He wants the best for me, and like we work well together. And like I've seen in boxing a lot of people that don't have it. I'm like, I think, oh my god, like I would hate that. Like I'd actually hate that because, yeah, he's the man. Honestly, he really is. Like with everything as well, like with the training, with the managing, with the even just being like we're like he's a good friend now. Do you know what I mean? Because he wants the best for me, and yeah, we've got the same goal. We want to get to the top, and yeah, and his boxing brain and knowledge is just it's crazy. Like even when I speak to people in the gym about it, they'll come up to me when I'm after a pad work session or something, and they'll be like, "You do know you've got a really good like coach here." I'm like, "I know that, I know that." Like especially like every fight we've had, he looks at the opponent and he comes back to me and then he's like, "Right, this is how you beat her, this," and then we just go to work and then it all just like plans out really well, and it's worked so far. I really, really can't complain.
He could be getting a statue in Luton
Mate,
in the next 10 years.
innit? Honestly,
He shits boxing. That's how much
literally,
he loves it.
literally in his
Yeah.
brain, his brain is probably just like a boxing glove, or so, I don't know. Like,
What was it like spending time with him on warm weather camp and sort of being able to pick his brain a little bit more? And
yeah, it was good. It was good to see like that's a different side to him, and because it was just me and him as well, so it was just like it was good. Like he's just boxing, boxing, boxing. Like that is it. Like that's one thing I realised, and yeah, no, it was good to get away, definitely.
what thoughts sort of going through your head from your last fight? Like it was a long time ago. Do you think the layoff was too long? Was the layoff needed because you had so many fights? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I I don't know really. it doesn't feel like I've had a massive layoff. Maybe I've been training like all the way through. I know it's different to fighting, but I don't feel any different, or that there would be much of a difference. And I would have obviously liked to have had a fight like in between, but it just didn't work out like that. To be fair, but that, or preferably, I would have. But and then there was so many, like, ever since that fight, there's been negotiations going on. So it's like we couldn't make a fight because this fight was about to happen, and then but behind the scenes and stuff like that. And then, oh no, that fight's not happening now, but this fight is. Do we get a fight in between? But what if you get cut, or what if you get an injury? And it's just like we just had to just go with it, go with the flow then, and just keep cracking on training and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always find it weird when someone has a fight coming up and then they sign another fight. So it's sort of like the Tyson Fury and Ngannou. Like, he's fighting Ngannou this week, or would have been a couple of weeks ago, but he's already signed to fight Usyk. I always think that sort of it's a risky game,
weird.
man. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth a little bit because it sort of thinks you're overlooking the person you're about to fight.
Yeah, like you just got to be thinking about that opponent in front of you. Like, you don't want to think of anything else. And naturally, you will, even if you say I won't be, you will be, because that's on your mind. Like, so yeah, we had to make some decisions like along the way to what was right, or what we thought was right. So
obviously, there's a few big female fights coming up as well. Obviously, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron too. What's your thoughts on that?
it's a hard one. It's like, I rate Chantel Cameron, what she's done. She went and beat Katie Taylor, and Katie Taylor's the greatest. Like, she's the great, but I don't want to see Katie Taylor lose again. I really don't. But and then like Chantel Cameron deserves it. Like, it's a tough one.
What about if you're going with your head? If you're going with your head,
I'm saying Chantel Cameron wins.
Do you think Taylor look like she's sort of looks her age a bit now as well, or
I think she's old. She's getting old, man. She's been in the game for so long, and like it started showing a few fights ago, but now she's going against Chantel Cameron, who's like raring to go, and fresh opponent in front of her, and it's definitely it showed way more then.
It's a hard, and there's talks that she probably will retire after this fight as well.
Yeah.
In Dublin, so
I want her to, if that happens, and you'd want to see her like getting revenge, but I can't
go on a good note.
Yeah, but I don't know. Not many boxers do go on a good note, do they?
No. I don't think anyone does. What about, obviously, we know we spoke to you before about Natasha Jonas. Obviously, you said you liked her because of how she had a daughter and had to raise her and then become a professional boxer and stuff like this. She's fighting Michaela Meyer, I think was announced a couple days ago. What do you think of that?
I like that fight. Yeah, big time. I like both of them. So I think that's a wicked fight. But I think Jonas wins that one. I do. I think she'll just be too. Michaela Myers is like, she's a bit one dimensional. Like you can cut, and I think Jonas, how snappy and sharp she's been in the last couple of fights. I think she just outboxes her.
Yeah, outboxes her. Do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it, because you predicted one on here before, I'm pretty sure.
Really? And did it come through?
Yeah, it came in. Yeah, it was like to the T as well. So if people are looking to do a little double parlay, you got to listen to Tyson when she comes down. She has the boxing. Yeah, we won't keep you for too long. Is there anything we haven't touched on that you want to get out there? Is there anything we missed?
Not really, to be fair. Obviously, if people will come watching from Luton, then if you're not doing anything on the next Friday, then head down to the Painters. Watch along.
Yeah, the Painters. Yeah, streaming it live. So it should be on all the TVs. It's free entry as well. So people who can't make it over to France or are not going, just come down, support, and get everyone down the airport the next day to welcome the champ back home.
Yeah.
Bring the drums and that.
I want to see the banners and everything.
Yeah, Tice, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time. Rain, was there anything more from you?
No. Are you still training now, or has it come to a stop?
Yeah. So it's very like minimal, like light. It's
Just
nothing
light.
heavy. Yeah, just like speed and sharpness.
Okay, yeah.
But that's it really. Like not hard training at all. So
Oh,
thank God
brilliant.
my
Nah,
weight's where it needs to be. So it's all good.
Do you feel
has this
like you're
camp been
sort of
good?
peaking?
What's that? Sorry.
Go on.
Do you
What
feel
did
like
you
you're sort
say?
of peaking at the right time?
Yeah, definitely. Like 100%. I've. That's why actually Tony reined it in. Like he's reined it in this week and was like, "We're ready to go. Like I don't need to overcook
We're
it or
fired
anything."
up.
So it's
I love
like,
that, man. I love
yeah,
it.
he's had to pull the reins a little bit. So yeah,
I bet he's just excited as well, isn't
yeah, he can't wait. He can't
he?
wait.
Yeah.
Like we've been putting this
You know
plan
he's tossing
together
and
now.
turning.
Literally, we've been putting this
Yeah,
plan together for so long. It's just like now all I got to do, I just got to go and pull it off. Like that's it. Like
yeah.
go and
You're like his
20
little
minutes of
minion.
fighting. Literally.
Do you,
Yes.
do you think this is you're gonna have to, because obviously your Lisa Whiteside performance for the Commonwealth was like unbelievable. Like I think you every single round you boxed perfectly, basically.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think you're gonna need to up that level?
Um, do you know what? Like, it's different because I ain't gonna box like that. Like, I'm not gonna box like that for this fight. And what I did in that fight was just stick to the game plan. Like, that was the game plan. Every round by round was literally what we had written down. And this game plan is different, but I've just got to execute it just as good as I executed the game plan with Lisa Whiteside. But it's just a different plan.
Mm,
So yeah, it's not about upping it or up. Yeah, it's not about upping it. It's just about doing what I need to do. Because if I don't do what I need to do, I'm fucked. Like literally, there's no. Because she if I'm making any mistakes, she's going to be on me. Do you know what I mean? So I need to set the tone from round one.
yeah,
I'm
Mm.
not. Yeah,
that's got me
basically.
excited. I can't wait for the
Oh
fight.
man, I
I
cannot
can't
wait.
wait to watch it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I know.
People, it's next Friday. Do you know? Do you know any times or anything? We know you're the main event. It'll probably be around 10 o'clock, wouldn't it?
I'd say around 9:10. Yeah,
9,
probably.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
So either head down to Douay or come down to the Painters,
Yeah.
whichever one.
Either way, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be wicked.
But Tice, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck as well for next week.
Bring
Yeah,
it back for us, muscle mummy. Get it
yeah.
back.
It's coming home. It's coming home. Nah, thanks for having me.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
nah, I
Thanks for
wish you the
coming on.
best of luck. Rest up.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you.
later.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
What's happened?
There we go. The champ, she's gonna bring it home. What do you reckon? What
Alright,
do you
I'm
reckon to
so
that fight?
excited, man. I reckon she obliterates
That the girl is good. She is good.
her. Who?
Um,
French.
yes, I think her name's Ségolène
Yeah, but
Lefebvre.
don't. Yeah,
I
but
can't
don't.
remember.
Don't. Yeah, but you know what the funny thing is, though. Don't you think it's weird she's not come out of her own town?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. The signs are there to say that.
The only reason I say that, yeah, because like if you're hungry, your desire, it doesn't matter. I'm here to take over. I don't care. I'm the best in the world. I'm coming to take your shit. Like any great empire has always said, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm coming over there. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna take your shit. Tyce's like, I'm coming over there. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna take your shit, and I'm leaving. Bounce. I don't see that hunger from that woman.
No, I don't either.
N-
Not when you put it in
I,
that sort of perspective.
I, I've not even watched the women either, so
I've
I
not
can't
seen
really
a
say
lot of
too much.
her.
But listen, I'm just saying, of a confidence, the confidence must not be there. And you got 80 rowdy looting people coming to tear that shit up.
But I remember Ticey told me before that there wasn't actually a lot of footage of her out there. I don't know if it's to do with who owns the rights to her thing, but like you said, I didn't think of it of a mentality way of saying like the comfortability of, oh, I'm just going to keep fighting in my own sort of hometown. I don't really want
Get
to.
it? What? Like, come on, as a boxer, why are you fighting in the comfort of your own kingdom? No, you're here to take over. You just got one belt. One belt's not enough. You want you want all the belts. You want that canvas. That's just one. How many belts is there in the women's sport? 3,
Four,
4,
five.
4.
Yeah, same as the
Well,
men's. I think it's all the same as the men's.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Comfy and do it.
Yeah, there's big fights out there as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, I generally mean this. I generally, like, when I said to her that, are you ready for this to sort of, your life could change drastically in the space of 24 hours? Like, this is the sort of thing you see, like, you know, when you watch the Netflix documentary of like Johnny Manziel, he's normal Johnny one day, he can walk to the shop, the next day he's Money Manziel. Like, it could be
Yeah.
as simple as that. Like, she wins this title,
Yeah.
she's the world champion in
Yeah.
England
Yeah.
in 9 fights or 8 fights.
Yeah.
She's that
Yeah.
person. She's that
Clouty.
great. Now she's in
Yeah, and she
demand.
looks good, man. She looks good. She's done the training. She's been putting the strength and conditioning with Reese. Like, she looks like an athlete now. You know what I mean? She looks like an athlete. She looks like she
Yeah.
just fucking jab you and jab you and jab you. Yeah, no, I'm yoked, man. I can't lie. Like, this is great for the town, great for Luton, like, great for her,
Yeah, get
great for
behind her,
women.
man. We need,
Inspiration for women.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and it's not even about like watching us. It's when she wins and she's bringing that belt home. I want to see as many people as possible in the departures. Is it the departures or the arrivals? The arrivals lounge of Luton Airport, because
Yeah,
she needs a hero's welcome back into town when she wins that belt. Like, she's
yeah,
the world champion, the second
yeah,
ever world champion in Luton, the first ever
yeah,
female world champion in Luton. She needs
yeah,
that respect. Like, everyone needs to get down there and, like, even if she loses, get down there. Even if she loses, get down there, because she's aimed to be great.
yeah. The greatness. No, that's greatness. This is greatness. Look what she's done. And
History,
it's mad to see as well. Yeah, history.
history,
Yeah,
first ever
history.
female
Great
world champion
history.
in Luton,
And gone to
to the French to conquer.
front uh, frog legs back gardens and that. And you're gonna come take that belt and bring it back home. Oh man. Oh man. That yeah. Well, proud. I already see her winning anyway.
Because do you think the girl,
Honestly, I'm not even
like,
trying to be biased. I just don't think that other girl's there mentally.
do you
She's talking about I'll go anywhere.
do you think that other girl sort of, when they accept the fight, they sort of overlooking her because of her record? She obviously, remember,
100%.
she's 17 and 0, and she's looking at Tyce's 8 and 1 or 7 and 1. Do you think they're sort of overlooking her a little bit?
100%. Hey, listen, this is Luton. Yeah, we come from a gritty town. She's a hard woman. You know what I mean? Of course, they're overlooking her. But then again, looking at her, you're having 17 comfort fights in your hometown. Like you, you're not you. She's not fought anyone relevant, has she?
Not that.
Ticey's fought more people relevant than
Well, yeah,
she
she's
has.
fought a world champion and someone who was tipped, like that Lisa Whiteside. She was tipped to go on to do like crazy things in the sport because of how good her amateur career was. I'd never
There you
asked
go.
her. Remember when she come on the pod, Ticey? I need to ask.
Oi, come on, Daz.
I need to ask Ticey, because remember she come on the pod and she said there was a girl that she sort of fought in the amateurs, and she was a really good amateur, and she wanted to fight her pro. I need to ask her. I've not asked her since then. But introducing the next guest, he's coming on for the Luton Town segment. Also, you know the boys are in the Premier League. You know the boys are tearing it up. You got Adoze Ogbene, and I know Darren Jones brings the boys on at halftime. He does the battle cry, and we want to welcome Darren Jones. Azar, how you doing, brother?
Easy, bruv. Can you hear us? Hello? 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 We are the Luton boys. And if you are a Watford fan, surrender all you
scaring me. You're scaring me now, mate. I thought he was pretending to be frozen.
Can he see us?
He can see us, yeah.
Oh, you're right, guys.
Yes.
You know what? You know what happened, right? I had my AirPods in, and they've literally, I don't know why, they just stopped working.
They died.
Nah, that's cool. Your audio is good, though.
Yeah, it sounds clear.
Oh, that's all right then. That's right. As long as it sounds right, that's the main thing.
But, how you
what
doing,
are you using?
man?
Your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's so clear on the phone. It's better than the laptop.
Hey, happy days then. Happy days.
How's everything been, man? How you been finding the work down Luton? How's the barbering been?
Yeah, you know what? Look, life's good. Luton's obviously good. It's like it still feels a bit surreal, if I'm being honest with you. The barbering's going well. I'm at the new shop in Dunstable, so I'm doing all of that. So Yeah, life's good, lads. So I can't really grumble at all, man. It's all looking good. How about yourselves?
No, it's going well, man. Obviously, we wanted to bring you on the live stream because we're sort of struggling at the minute to find someone who else is passionate to talk about Luton Town, to talk about. Obviously, we know you know ball. You know ball. We knew that from the first time we spoke to you. To find someone that can sort of talk about the ins and outs and what's sort of happening and what they think, and is it time to panic? Is it time to push the panic button, or is it time to say, do you know what? Hold on now. Let's calm down. And is the ship sailing or is the ship sinking?
You know what? Everyone just needs to relax because I think we spoke about it previously. Is that when we went to the Championship, it took us a little while to adjust to it. You know, we got battered by Brentford 7-0. We wasn't looking particularly great. And then suddenly we got into the swing of it. And I'm noticing it in the Premier League. You know, you've only got to look at it. 10 years ago on Saturday, we played Matlock Town in the FA Trophy. 10 years later, we're playing Man United. And let's be fair, we gave them a game. You know, you wouldn't have thought that was little old Luton against, former champions of Europe, Premier League winners, FA Cup. You know, they've won everything. You know, you would have looked at that game, and any neutral watching that would have thought Luton were an established Premier League team. So, you know, I don't think we need to panic yet. You know, the performances are there. I think we've got the right players in. I think everyone just needs to relax and just remember we're going up against teams that will have one player that costs 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount of our whole squad. But I think they've been doing us proud. Like, I've not watched the game yet where I've actually stopped watching it and gone, oh, I'm really hacked off or anything, because they're doing us proud. And I think everyone just needs to realise that they're doing well, they're adapting, and points are coming. There's going to be a big win. You know, we've got the dreaded month from hell coming up in December, as they're saying it. But I think we're going to turn over one of the big boys. I've just got a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I think we actually get points in December.
Yeah,
I think we get points because I know we've got. I'm gonna just pull the fixtures up on my phone just so I'm 100% sure about what I'm saying, because I don't want to be talking blind at the same time. But I think we've got Man City, Arsenal. Yeah, so we got Brentford in December, Arsenal, Man City, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Sheffield, and Chelsea.
like, you
Imagine
know
turning
what? If
over
we
Man
can,
City.
what's that?
Imagine turning over Man City.
It could happen. It could happen. It's happened before.
Yeah.
It could happen. You've got to think, right? When we had Liverpool at home, everyone thought that Liverpool, like even all the Liverpool supporters, they thought they were going to turn us over. But, you know, they rocked up. They come to our little ground. They go into the really small dressing room. You know, they walk out onto the pitch and you're right close to the fans. It's intimidating. So why couldn't we do Man City? You know, stranger things have happened, and this is football at the end of the day. And you know, it's a David versus Goliath sort of match, but we could definitely get points there. But I think out of all them fixtures you said, you know, if we could get 6 to 7 points out of all of them, I think that'll put us in good stead.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because the teams, I've been saying it, like there's sort of, it's a 4-horse race down there at the minute anyway. Because we're only what 10 games in, 9 games in.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-horse race at the minute. Bournemouth beating Newcastle is like, oh, maybe one of the 4 is sort of starting to pick up a bit of pace now. I know they've beat Burnley and Newcastle in the past 3 weeks. So are they sort of hitting a spell? And is it like when we play Palace now, draws are not really enough at home against a Palace or against a Brentford or someone like that?
Yeah, you know, we've got to pick up the points, especially like for me, Palace is a bit of it's a 6-pointer realistically. It's a bit of a 6-pointer of a game, and you know, but it's a game that we could definitely win. I think, you know, with the way it is at Kenilworth Road, the way we played against Liverpool, the fact that we're on that small pitch that teams seem to hate, you know, I definitely can see us doing it. But I don't. The honest truth is, I'm not even worried about those above us, because we've only got to worry about ourselves and the points that we're getting. And, you know, we could see us climb. Like, you know, we've been going in and out of that bottom 3 now over the last few weeks. But, you know, there's points to gain. There's points to get. And, yeah, I can definitely see it. I think, like, come the end of the season, we're going to be in and around the area. I'm not saying, you know, we're going to go on a run. We're going to finish mid-table. But we could be in and around that area. And I think, you know, anything could happen.
And I think you're actually going to start seeing Fulham slip in there.
Do you think?
Yeah, because I'm looking at Fulham and I'm thinking, I don't know. And this is the issue I have with Luton at the minute. It's not an issue, let's say. It's not an issue, but it's a bit of a concern because we play good football to how we play. So I think we play excellent football now. We have been at the minute. We create loads of chances. We whip balls in. We get in dangerous areas, but Burnley, Sheffield, and Luton, and I'd say even Fulham now, they just don't look like they have someone who can guarantee you some goals or who's going to score you goals. Whereas Nottingham Forest have got a Chris Wood. Chris Wood at them lower end teams, he's a good vocal point up front. He scores a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Even Dominic Solanke, like I'm not a massive fan of Dominic Solanke, but he does score goals and he will get you goals. And you see that in the Newcastle game, the way he picked the ball up on the edge of the box and sort of carried it into the box and just slotted it in. And that's sort of the only thing that worries me with Luton. Like, I think Adebayo's been brilliant when he's come on. I think Morris has been excellent, but they were never really, were they ever really going to be able to score 10, 15 sort of goals or 12 goals? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's hard for any striker that plays for Luton at the minute because of the way that we're playing. You know, like Carlton Morris last year was obviously up front with Elijah in a two-pronged attack. This year he's up there on his own and he's got no one to sort of feed off. So you know that is the only concern. But I think Morris is getting into the right sort of places, and I think it's only going to take him to go on a little run, and we'll start seeing him scoring goals. Like, can he hit double digits? I think he can. You know, he's already scored 3 so far. But you know, I want to see sort of more of them open goal. I mean, sort of more of the open play sort of goals coming in. I think one thing that's happened is like Issa Kabure, his deliveries wasn't so great at the start of the season, but we've seen over the last few games that, you know, his deliveries are getting better in the box. You know, he's putting the ball into more dangerous areas. Alfie Doughty's like Alfie Doughty, and he's like incredible. Like, how he's not being picked for the England squad, I do not know. So I think it's just about getting the ball into the right places, and then Carlton Morris will start scoring. But it is a concern that he is up there isolated on his own. Like, if he had Elijah playing next to him, could that potentially sort of open up the gaps where you've got the runner, like one forward making a run where you're taking the defenders away with the other one running through? That's a concern, but they're doing all right.
Yeah, like I said, I don't even really blame Morris, because I think the way that he's been asked to play and the way he has to play, he's always 2 or 3 on 1 at all times, really. He's got the CDM dropping in on him, and he's got the 2 centre-backs on him. So he's doing brilliant for how many people he has on him. But if Ogbene was scoring loads of goals from it, or the other winger was scoring, or Townsend starts scoring a lot of goals, or Brown, for instance, then it's not really a concern. I'm like, Morris is fine doing what he's doing as long as there's goals coming from somewhere else on the pitch.
Yeah.
But at the minute where I'm not seeing the goals, I'm sort of like, because the football, if we look at all the international breaks, there's been one every month. We've improved tenfold off of each international break.
Definitely.
So I'm not worried about the football, the way we've been playing football. And when you narrow it down, teams, I think we've only lost at home by 1 goal.
Yeah.
We've played Tottenham at home, West Ham. We played West Ham at home when they were at their best. So I'm not worried about that. I just think we need to start turning some of these, like the Burnley loss at home is a bit of a, it's a killer. Like, you don't want to be, they're the sort of teams you need to beat at home if possible.
Yeah, and we need to start seeing that players actually taking more shots. You know, we've got players that can shoot. You know, Andros Townsend, let's be fair, I don't think I've ever seen him score a rubbish goal.
No.
You know, but I think it's about people sort of, rather than maybe trying to get it into the box all the time, actually, you know, think, I'll take a pop at it. And we see that a lot with Ross Barkley. Like, all right, he's blown some over, he's had them saved, but he's seeing that space and he's taking them opportunities. And I think we need to start seeing the players doing that. And I think with the likes of Jordan Clark coming back, you know, we might start seeing that happen a little bit more. But I totally agree with you. It's a worry about other players not scoring. But I think they've just got to just go for it. You know, you can't always put it into the box to score goals. Sometimes you've got to take chances, or, you know, you've got to take gambles. Look at Pelly. Pelly throughout his whole career, he's bloomed over more shots than what I could ever imagine. But when he cracks it, he cracks it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
He always scores a ripper.
We need a Steve McNulty to just fire one in on a volley or something.
Oh, imagine that. Do you imagine, you know, changing subject, could you actually imagine Steve McNulty in the Premier League? That'd be mad, wouldn't it? That'd be absolutely mad. Steve McNulty, old sumo, playing in the Premier League. It'd be legendary,
would be brilliant.
Wouldn't it?
That would be brilliant. But he was never going to make it there, was he? But he done well for what it is. But obviously, we got a comment here from Mikey. Do you think Nakamba is too exposed by himself in the middle of the park?
No, I think stats speak for themselves when it comes to Nakamba. He's got the second highest amount of tackles in the whole of the Premier League, and I think that he's doing a good job. I don't think he's, I think it's like what they say, innit? Like 80% of the world is covered in water, and 70% is covered in water, and the other 30% is covered by Nakamba. I think even when he's on his own, he just legs it everywhere, doesn't he? He's an absolute machine. He's an absolute machine. I bet his wife has an absolutely fabulous evening when they're getting all romantic, because literally the guy just doesn't stop, does he?
Yeah.
He's just on it all game. I don't think he's exposed being there on his own, but I think having I noticed Barkley's been playing a bit deeper with him, and I think that's worked and helped him as well. But no, I think Nakamba's doing brilliant, to be fair.
I think Graham has actually found his best. No, not Graham. Flipping out. I was thinking Graham Jones, man. Rob Edwards. He's actually found his best starting 11 now. I think with Townsend playing as well, because a lot of people, obviously I read on Hatters Talk. Sometimes, do you know what it is? You can't go down a rabbit hole on Hatters Talk, because I start reading the comments and I'm like, these people, do they even fucking know football? What are we doing?
I don't even go on it anymore. I don't even go on it.
And I think that's just football in general. But when I'm reading some of these comments, like Townsend's defensive responsibilities, what he's been doing defensively, and even his pressing and telling people to come with him, and even you'll notice a lot of times when there's someone running around him, he'll always tell someone, do this, do that. He's like another coach on the pitch. So I actually think that Rob Edwards has found his best 11 at the minute.
100%. He's found the best 11, but then you then look at some of the players that aren't making it into that starting 11, like your Chongs and your Giles and all of that. We've got some good players there that are knocking on the door, and I think that's what's really good, is there's pressure on those players to perform, because otherwise, if you don't perform, he can bring on a Chong, he can bring on a Jordan Clark, he can bring on these sort of players and a Giles. I think it's a tough team, I think, to be in and around. There's a lot of competition for places there, but I think that's why we're starting to see players performing better, because, like, don't get me wrong, Alfie Doughty was absolutely amazing last season, but it just seems this year, we brought in Giles for 5 million, who started the first few games, and since then, Doughty's just literally gone up another level, isn't he?
And he actually looks better defensively this season. Like,
yeah, he does. I think it suits him playing that wing back role, where he's literally darting up and down the pitch the whole game, because he's got an engine on him.
Yeah, there was a few times last season where he'd get forward and then we'd get caught off the ball and he'd sort of walk his way back. But this season he seems to just be everywhere. And I hope his injury's not too serious. I don't know if anything's been put out anymore on it, or what it is, but he looked in a bit of pain, didn't he, when he come off?
Yeah, that to be fair, that was the biggest worry, I think, about that whole game, was just seeing Alfie Doughty sort of limping off. And it does make you panic. But then at the same time, if he is out for a little while, we've got Giles there. And I know a lot of people have sort of knocked Giles a little bit, saying, he's not like taking on the last man. He's not putting the balls in the box and that. But we saw what he did at Middlesbrough last season. And, maybe it'll just take him some games to adapt, and then he'll do it. So if we do lose Alfie Doughty, it'll be bad if the injury's bad. But we've got Ryan Giles there, and then you can even look at it that there's Joe Johnson as well that can also play that role, who's away with the England team at the moment. So even as a concern, it's not something to panic about, I'd say.
Have you been keeping an eye on that? Oh, the young lad, he's gone to Colchester, I think it is.
Joe Taylor.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up there, man.
Yeah, he's been scoring goals, isn't he?
And he's
been scoring goals.
He's that other dynamic of, like, I know we've seen an Adebayo and a Morris, but I look at a Joe Taylor and think he complements a Morris a little bit more. Just the way the last man runs, the quickness of him, like, that could be a good player to be bringing back in January, if it's a possibility, or whatever he thinks. Obviously, I'm not the manager, but I'm just saying the guy's been popping goals in.
I think the thing is, though, is there's a massive gulfing class between League Two to the Premier League. We have seen players obviously make that jump throughout the history of football, but at the same time is that, if he's there and he's banging in the goals, he's only 20, I think he's only 20, 21.
Yeah, I think he's
keep him there for, firing it out. If I was to bring back a striker in January, I'd bring back McAtee from Barnsley.
He scored last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored 2. I think he scored 2 last night.
Yeah.
But what I like about him is that obviously he's playing League One. But all right, he's not scored loads of goals. But when you hear about how he's playing, they say about how he complements, about how he's basically the way he assists and all of that. He's a player that I could see doing well for us, because he will shoot from anywhere. you've only got to look at McAtee's goals throughout time, whether it be for Grimsby, whether it be for Barnsley this season. He scores goals and he doesn't mind shooting from anywhere. And as I was saying earlier, I think that's what we're lacking, just someone to take shots at goal.
Yeah. What do you think the most impressive performance has been so far?
You know what? It's got to be Liverpool, isn't it? It's got to be the Liverpool game. I think as a performance goes, the way that we defended, the way that Rob Edwards got the game plan literally spot on. I heard his interview the day before, and he said, as a team, we've got to defend together and we've got to attack together. And he goes, and against Liverpool, you'll see a lot of defending. He goes, but there'll be times when we hit that attack and we'll go for them. And that's exactly what we did. And that's how we got the goal. It was literally soak up the pressure, hit him on the counter. And as goals go, like for me, that's one of my favourite Luton goals of all time. I think, once it's in the Premier League and against Liverpool, but as a team, the way that they defended the corner, got the ball out, Ross Barkley keeping a really composed head to take on the player on the edge of the box, and then to run with it, check on his marker that was running up behind, pop out to Kabure, ball in the box, but Chong wanted it, he got it, he scored. That for me was just unreal.
What was the atmosphere like around the ground that day?
It was rocking. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't Sunderland or Watford rocking, but it really was rocking. And I think that's the one thing that I'd love to see this season. I'd love to see that ground being like it was for the Watford and the Sunderland game, where it was intimidating. Every time we won a throw in, there was cheering. People were banging the tunnel when the players were, like the Watford or the Sunderland players are going up it. They were intimidated by it. But, the atmosphere was rocking. But I'd love to see it get to those levels again, like in the playoffs, because I think the game against Sunderland at home, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that throughout all the years I've been going to watch Luton Town. It was nuts.
Yeah. It was that hostile in there.
It was well hostile. Now, I'd done the PA for the Watford game, so I wasn't in the tunnel. But I know that people that were in the tunnel were saying Watford were rattled. They were absolutely rattled because the tunnel was getting whacked. They were just getting abuse and everything. And even they were saying when they come up, they went, they don't want it. They don't want it. And it was the same with Sunderland. You could tell they were rattled by it, because let's be fair, like Kenilworth Road, it's like being in an octagon, isn't it? It's like so close and tight. And then when it's going, it's going.
Nah, to be fair, it's been an exciting season. I've seen a lot of fans sort of have the attitude of, we shouldn't really be here anyway, so just be happy while we're here. But I don't know, my mentality is a little bit different. I feel like we deserve to be here because we got promoted last season. So
yeah, of course,
we're having a good go at staying up. Is there anything in the team you'd like to see changed, or anything that you don't think works that well?
To be fair, I don't think there's anything I'd change, because it's getting better game by game. And I think that Rob Edwards is getting it tactically spot on. And for any football supporter, like I notice it with a lot of the away fans when they're posting saying about Luton shouldn't be here, it's an embarrassment. Luton being in the Premier League is one of the best things that's happened for football for a long time, because it goes to show that you can be an underdog and you can get to the promised land. For people like your Cambridge Uniteds, your Rotherhams, we're all in that kind of sector, aren't we, of being teams that have been in bother or in trouble. But, a Cambridge fan put on Twitter once, he goes, Luton getting to the Premier League can now make every team dream that they can do it. And we deserve to be there. And quite right, we should be there, because, the way that we've built, the way that club's been built since 2020 come in, it's been built to get there. And regardless of the fact that we've got a small stadium, regardless of the fact that we're Little Luton, we're there, and we're there because we deserve to be there. And anyone that disagrees with me, feel free to knock on my door, because I'm not having it.
I think that's why I'm so desperate for them to stay up this season, because I do honestly think that if we stay up this season, we stay in the Premier League for a long time. I just think the way the clubs run, and the way the transfers are, and the way that we have an identity for who we are and who Luton is, and the way that Luton play, I do think we'll stay in the league for a long time. Sort of like a Brentford or a Brighton, sort of that similar. We're quite similar in them ways.
Definitely.
Definitely get through the season.
There's no reason why we can't stay there. Obviously, there's the dreaded second season syndrome, isn't there, where a lot of teams sort of crumble on that second season. But I think for football, if Luton stay up, it's going to be a massive point proven that you don't have to go out and spend 100 million. You don't have to go and spend like Chelsea, nearly £1 billion on football players. It just goes to show if you can build a good squad with a good team and a good team ethic, that you can do it. And, you know, I really hope we start just so I can ring up Talk Sport and give it to Jason Cundy. Because I tell you what, that bloke
He's a
knocks
cock.
us down all the time. And, you know, even, you know, and Garth Crooks as well. You know, we're there to make up the numbers. We're not there to make up the numbers. We're there because we're bloody Luton Town and we flipping deserve to be there. I nearly swore there. I've stopped myself.
You can swear. You can swear. Go if you need to swear, get it out.
I better not.
Go on, fucking say it.
They just need to gel and find their feet. Just keep gelling in. It's a process. It's a journey, and that's what people forget. They just want, like, you're in the Prem, you got to do well. It don't work like that. Just relax and let the players find their feet.
Exactly. Well, it's like what I was saying about the Championship. We had to find our feet. We had to settle. And you've noticed game on game, we've got better. Like, you know, we got beaten 4-1 by Brighton. Don't get me wrong, it didn't reflect a 4-1 loss, but we deserved to lose. You know, we then got like beaten 3-0 by Chelsea, but same again, we played better, and it's just got better and better and better as they're gelling. And so I totally agree with you. They've just got to give the team time, and then if they give the team time, we'll start seeing rolling. We'll get a few of them shocks in, and then we'll show the world what Luton Town's all about.
Yes, because I think you lose sight of how many games you've actually played and how many games there are. Like we're not even. I don't even know if we're a quarter of the way through the season yet.
Yeah, we are quarter through. Yeah,
we're a quarter through.
Well, we're nearly halfway through, aren't we? 7 more games, and we're halfway through the season.
7 more through, and we're halfway. So we're about a quarter. We're about a quarter through. Just over a quarter. But that's like, there's a lot of time to get 3 wins. There's a lot of time to get 4 wins. There's a lot of time to sort of go on a bounce. And I'd say we've played quite hard teams at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've played Chelsea, we've played Man United. You know, you've got to throw Brighton in there because Brighton are no mugs. You know, West Ham, Europa League winners. You know, we've played some really tough teams. You know, and we've proved that we can play against the big teams. And I think Liverpool, for me, just proved the point that we can do it. So, you know, the world's our oyster.
And even though we've been sort of we've rode our luck a little bit with a few chances, which I think will happen in every game anyway, just because the quality of all the other teams. But when you think, you're like, well, we could have got if Adebayo scores that goal against Tottenham when it's 0-0 and 10 men, we could be. There's 3 points there that we could have taken. Or, for instance, if we could have held on a little bit, the Liverpool one I'm not too annoyed about because it's Liverpool at the end of the day, and they can score at any time, really. And they've proven that against every team they've played. So I'm not too upset about that one. But then the Burnley one is sort of 2 dropped points when we could have come out of there with a draw. And I'd argue that we probably, if they don't score from kickoff, we probably go on and win that game just from momentum.
Yeah.
So no, it's totally sort of like we've there's been them few little hiccups that if we can just get scoring when them chances come, I think we I think we stay up, and I think we stay up.
They need that confidence, just that confidence to ooze and find their feet. But like you said, I think they have been anyway. They have been getting better on game.
Yeah, 100%. Like you know, you look at Tom Lockyer. You know, when we first started at the start of the season, you know, he looked like he was struggling a bit, and people were questioning him. Which I thought, how can you question Tom Lockyer? He's an absolute like legend and a hero, isn't he? But you know, you've only got to look at him at the weekend. He was superb. You know, and he's, you know, against Liverpool, he was incredible. You know, it's that they're doing good. They're doing good. And I'm, you know what? I was thinking this, like, I was driving to work the other day, and you know when you drive to work on your own and you just think about life. Well, I normally think about Luton Town, and I was just thinking, like, you know, how proud has this team done us? Like, seriously, how proud are they doing us? You know, you don't get roared off the pitch and applauded away from home, losing 3-0 at Chelsea, unless you're doing something right. You know, they got absolutely applauded off the pitch against Man United and cheered for. People can see that they're doing something right, ain't they, guys? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I actually think, like, just like you said, the Liverpool one sort of proves that we're a team that can go out there and get a result. Like, that's a team 100%. You'd never think we're taking points off, really, home and away. You'd sort of say them and Man City, home and away, we're probably going to lose out on 6 points. So to go and get a point
we
from
didn't.
Liverpool, it's like. But who's been your standout sort of player or someone who surprised you a lot?
You know what? I think Obene has been absolutely incredible. You know, he didn't start the first few games. He made a few sub appearances, like he came on against Chelsea and he looked really good. But Obene, for me, you know, we've got him from Rotherham for free, and he is absolutely tearing that division up. Like, you know, it makes you think, how has he not been in the Premier League beforehand? So definitely Obene for me has been the big standout. But then you've got Mengi as well at the back. You know, you look at his record, like when he's been on loan at places like Birmingham and stuff like that, and he's had so many injury issues, and yet he's come to Luton and managing him right, and he looks like an absolute machine. You know, it makes you think, how's like Ross Burke or Amari Bell going to get back in the team over him, because he's been unreal. But you know, that you could keep like naming so many of the players that have done well, but standout performer for me, it's got to be Obene. And I'd most probably say players that have been with us for a couple of seasons, then you'd say Doughty. But yeah, Obene for me has just been an absolute, not just a class player, but what a bit of business that was. You know, we got him for free. That's like insane.
Yeah, and you like he's especially if we get relegated, he's going for big money next season.
Oh, 100%. Could you imagine Obene, Doughty? You've got to look at Kaminsky in there, because I can't even believe I haven't even mentioned him yet. Like,
Kaminsky's been unbelievable.
Oh, that point blank save on Saturday against Hoyland, whatever his name is, like, wow. Like, if we did go down, the money we're going to make off some of these players will be ridiculous.
Do you think
like,
that
absolutely
hurts
ridiculous?
if we start selling a lot of them, it hurts us coming back up? Or do you just trust in the recruitment so much that if it's to be, we'll get back up there anyway?
Yeah, you've only got to look at what Mick Harfer's done throughout the years, haven't you? The players that he's brought in and the players that they found, like, you know, Jordan Clark at Accrington Stanley. Do you know what I mean? Like, what on earth? Like, you know, and that they got him. Then you know, you've only got to look at the recruitment. The recruitment's been absolutely incredible. You know, the list of players you could name that we've got in for next to nothing or nothing, that have gone on to be absolute superstars is unreal. You know, even if we got relegated and we lost 5 of that starting 11, I would have complete trust in like what Mick and 2020 and the manager would do to rectify that. Because yeah, there's just something special about what they're doing when it comes to that recruitment that I'd have no worry at all.
No, 100%. Is there anything we've not touched on? Any other things that you think's interesting to talk about? Anything going on with you? Anything going on with 1981 events?
Yeah, well, 1981 events, you know, it's going really well. We've done some like amazing gigs recently. We've done all the Hertfordshire and Buckinghamshire Oktoberfest, you know, performing to 3,000 people. You know, and for all those that are watching, if you need a DJ, we can get you the best ones around.
And
but yeah, so no, the business is going well. The barbering's going really well. I'm now at Dunstable Barber Co. on West Street in Dunstable. You know, so that's all picking up, and obviously with Luton Town, life's good, you know, and then a few other ones for me is there's a couple of good shows coming up for Goodwin Boxing over at York Hall at the end of November and early December. So yeah, it's definitely going to be some good things happening this month.
I know Linus is on I think it's the 2nd of December one.
Yes.
Is it Goodwin on the 9th as well?
Yeah, Goodwin's on the 9th. They're doing the 25th of November, the 2nd of December and the 9th. But I'm only DJing on the one on the 9th, because the 2nd of December, they have the big production team that come in, because it's Box Mania, and that card's like brilliant. It's a shame about the Brad Pauls having to pull out, but you know, the card's looking good. And then I think Jordan's on the 9th, isn't he?
Jordan and Frankie.
Yeah, so you know, there are two local boxers there. You know what's a shame? It'd been brilliant if Linus was on that bill as well. Because imagine that if you had the 3, obviously Ticey can't, because she's going for big things, she's going for world title.
Yeah.
But how good would that be to have like half of a show filled up with?
She's going to get that money.
She is, and I'll tell you what, if she's watching, like, Ticey, go out there and smash it. Because I've watched her fight before when I DJ'd for Tony Pill. That girl's got something. She's got something. Yeah. And when she fought Nina, obviously it was unlucky. But as we said in that last podcast, is that, you know, it's going to be the making of her. And look at her now. She's going for world titles. She's young. She's marketable. You know,
she's a beast, man.
I want her to win that title, bring it back to Luton, get on that pitch, flip in, do a lap of honour, because you know, she'll be the first female to bring back a world title to Luton, and you know, I hope she smashes it. I really do. really do.
She was literally just on before you, and we were just excited about this fight, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Obviously, she's the away fighter, so you know she's straight away. You've not got the upper hand if you're the away fighter, you know. But she's going away from home. She'll have a Luton army with her, and let's just hope she gets. I think really she's got to go for a knockout, really, or she's got to just purely dominate the fight as the away fighter. But you know, I just want her to get that title. I want to get that title. I think I'm gutted I've got a DJ that night because when's that? Next Friday?
24th, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Friday.
Yeah, I'm DJing, so I'm not going to be able to watch it. But if I can find a little thing on my phone, I'll be definitely watching it to support her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure what the timings in that are, but I think I might be buying a login anyway, so I'll link you over any the stuff.
Oh, top man.
So you can just go on there and watch it. Obviously proud sponsor of the Curious Fijian as well, so thank you for that. So people, if you need a DJ for parties or big events, like you said, you've just been doing Oktoberfest, you're doing the Goodwin shows, head over to 1981 events on Instagram or contact Darren directly.
Yeah, nice one. I appreciate that, boys. And I think, you know, people need to show you appreciation for what you're doing, you know, for sort of the fight game, whether it be local, nationally, you know, you're even doing the international stuff. And, you know, I think if anyone's watching this, you know, make sure you're sharing these guys, make sure you're sharing the posts, make sure you're watching the videos, because, you know, you guys are doing something great for, like, as I say, not just sort of the Luton and the surrounding areas, but also for the fight game in general. And yeah, you know, it'd be good to see more people supporting you. And like, as a sponsor, you know, like as a sponsor, what you guys are charging is it's not that much, you know, and you know, more businesses could get behind you. And if more businesses get behind you guys, it's going to see the Curious Fijian grow and grow and grow. And then hopefully one day, boys, you won't be talking to me, you'll be talking to big stars.
No, we still got time. We still got time for Darren Jones, man, the legend, one of the legends of the podcast, all out.
We'll be taking you with us.
Top man, yeah. Where's my t-shirt? I need the t-shirt, lads. You know, I've got me a Volve Elite one. I've not got a Curious Fijian one yet.
No, I'll get one made for you and I'll get it sent over to you, man.
Don't forget, double XL. I'm a bit wider than you, boys.
One of these ones.
What's that?
Do you want one of these ones or one of the other ones, like the original ones?
I'll have one of them ones.
One of these ones, yeah. Wicked. I'll sort it out. I'll get one sent over to you.
I'll tell you what. If I get that for the 9th, I'll wear it at York Hall.
We'll all wear it at York Hall.
Wicked, yeah. We'll
get. Oh yeah, you guys are going to be there as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Obviously, Frankie's fighting, Jordan's fighting, so we'll be down there.
We'll mash up the dance.
Two for the price of one, isn't it? You can't say no to a deal.
That's it, lads. Well, don't forget, you've always got a seat in my car, boys, if you need a lift.
No, wicked. Obviously, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, and yeah, people go check out Darren Jones and go check out 1981 events.
Appreciate you, Darren, man. Yeah, brother.
What a guy. Legend of the pod.
He is a fucking legend, man. He is.
He's one of the funniest guys, isn't he?
Funniest guy.
Could be a comedian.
Yeah. Definitely could do comedy, 100%.
Like
100%.
he's that sort of funny.
Armpits are kicking, lads.
Yeah, but we do have. Oh, where is it? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, Darren Jones, man, legend. You know what it is? That's a guy passionate for Luton as well.
Who does that?
Yeah, man, passionate. It's funny how people forget the journey, though, isn't it? Because when you actually like break down the journey where Luton have actually come from to where they are now, it's like, what are people getting angry about?
Yeah, but it's just, I think that's just natural of football and sort of the expectations. You sort of feel like you should be here and you deserve to be here, so you think the good times are going to last forever.
Yeah, that's
but we do have a short little 1 minute break, just to give you. We got sponsors and we got to give you some adverts. So we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Bruce Buffer, the voice of the UFC. Are you looking for a DJ for your MMA, boxing, or combat sports event? Well, I've got incredible news. 1981 Events are your one-stop shop for the best combat sports DJs, spreading its services to anywhere in the UK and beyond. 1981 Events will make your event a reality with a team of highly versatile and experienced DJs and a guarantee of professionalism, quality, flexibility, affordability, and services custom made just for your event. What are you waiting for? Contact Darren Jones today on 0786 110 5372 or visit their website at www.1981events.com because it's time!
I'd like to take this time to shout out our sponsors at Prime MMA. If you're looking to enhance your MMA skills and learn by one of the best coaches around, head over to Prime MMA now. It's as easy as clicking the link in their bio, selecting your class, selecting your purchase type, putting your email in, and then purchasing. With brilliant MMA and boxing fighters coming out of Prime, it's really the best time to start your MMA journey now. Head over to Prime MMA and let your mixed martial arts journey begin. Just like to take this time to shout out our sponsors at Prime. Oh, few of the sponsors, obviously Darren Jones and Sammy Lever, Prime MMA. So make sure you go check out 1981 Events on Instagram, and make sure you also check out Prime MMA on Instagram for your journey in mixed martial arts, especially if you're around the Bedfordshire area. Sammy, he's a great coach, loves his students. It's a really family friendly gym, so make sure you go down there and check that out. We're pretty stacked today, aren't we? It's go. It's funner when it's sort of like that, though.
It's
When
roll on. You're different people, and it's roll on, roll off,
roll on, roll off, and you're sort of you're just going with it. There's a few times I'm
Bobbing
sort
it.
of like my head's sort of fucking going here, there, and everywhere. It's like I've got 100 things to say and I can't remember all of them. Obviously, while we're waiting for, I think we got Tom Kirk coming on next. Oh, yeah, we got Tom Kirk coming on next. We'll talk about the UFC. Obviously, 295 over the weekend. It was Madison Square Garden. Obviously, John Jones pulled out. In stepped Tom Aspinall. What a fight.
I haven't even watched it, you know.
He just went in there and just
He stomped him, innit?
from the bell, hands were going, and I think he got clipped, sort of took it and just knocked him out. But Tom Aspinall is now the interim champion. Just all out. Like, his dad trains him. His dad quit his job to train him to be a world champion, and now he's on that trajectory. Obviously, he's the interim champion, but he's next in line for a world championship shot. The only thing is, the only downside to this is that John Jones is obviously the champion. He's going to be out for a year easily with a torn pec. Stipe's sitting on the sidelines waiting for the John fight. The division sort of held up. Like, where does Aspinall go from here?
I feel like you need to free up that belt.
You think John Jones should relinquish it?
Yeah, because it's like if you're not gonna fight him, you could get rid of it, old doggy. You know what I mean? Like, Aspinall deserves it.
Yeah, because
he took that fight late notice. He deserves it.
Because you listen to like John Kavanagh, obviously he was on the MMA Hour, and you think he's saying, well, is Aspinall realistically going to wait? Because John Jones is going to be back in a year. If he doesn't retire, which I think he will retire, but if he doesn't retire, fights Stipe, beats him, he's realistically not going to fight again for nearly another half a year to a year again. So Tom could be looking at 2 years on the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't even think he should be fighting Stipe. It should just be straight Aspinall now. Listen, the best fight the best.
100%.
Let him go out.
I reckon he's going to fight Cyril Gane as well, man.
Let John Jones go out.
Do you reckon he fights Cyril Gane as the interim?
I think he fights Cyril Gahn as the interim. Yeah.
Because then
Well,
you sort of think from a
that's a good
fighter's
fight, to be fair.
no, it's a great fight, but then you think from a fighter's perspective, it's sort of like he has a. I don't think he'll care because it's Tom Aspinall and he's a risk taker and he's a go getter. But then you sort of think, well, he's got a chance to fight for the world championship, heavyweight world championship. If he goes out there and loses to Cyril Gahn, that opportunity's it's gone.
Yeah, but like you said, man, how long do you want to spend on the sidelines?
It's true.
Yeah, the fight game's short, man.
Because I see him in an
innit?
interview afterwards, didn't he? I think it was the MMA Hour where he was saying like you don't want to see the Stipe fight versus Jones. It should be him versus Jones, but he's going to be waiting for a while for that fight, man.
Yeah.
Then unless to be fair, I'm hearing Pereira. Somebody was saying the other day they might want to see Pereira at heavyweight.
I would argue. I think Pereira. I think Pereira could fight at heavyweight, and I think he could beat a lot of these heavyweights. He is huge. He still looks massive at light heavyweight.
Massive.
He looked bigger than Jan,
Yuri.
and he looked bigger than Yuri as well. Like both of them, and they're both huge. And he is legit. The only thing with him is, like, does he beat a Tom Aspinall? No, because I think anyone who's got a legit ground game puts him down and holds him down, because you don't want to strike with that man. He's the most dangerous striker in the UFC.
Unless he clips you quick, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You reckon, is he cutting weight or anything?
Pereira,
Yeah.
get down to 205.
To lightweight.
No, light heavyweight. Yeah, he's cutting.
Light heavyweight.
He's cutting.
He's still cutting.
Yeah.
Shit, man. He should probably just fight where he actually should fight, because he's one of them guys. He's tall with it and he suits his size probably.
I think he's a natural 205. I think he's like 225 pounds naturally.
Man, if you're that size, you may as well just stay with that size. I can't believe he's cutting all the way down.
And his fight was unbelievable against Yuri. Like I thought he would win. I thought if he was going to win, it would be a KO as well, just because Yuri does get hit a lot. And Yuri's not a person who's sort of going to change his style to fight Pereira in a different way. He's going to go out there and bang with him. And he went out there and bang with him. But Pereira can knock anyone out, man.
Yeah, no, sorry. Tom did say he's backstage, but I see him come in and go back out, so we're trying to work and get him back on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We got time. Oh, Tommy. Yeah, so that was the UFC was good. Apparently a lot of people were saying it was one of the better cards of the year as well, like overall.
They were all knockouts, weren't they, all the fights?
Yeah, I think it was another
all stoppages.
It was another
that's what you want to see, though.
Barn burner, because the Abu Dhabi card was sort of like, it was sort of bittersweet, wasn't it? It was like you put a lot of people up against people that they like. The matchups weren't fair. There weren't fair matchups on the undercards.
Sorry, I'm zooming in head first.
Yeah, no, it was. You got Sean Strickland versus Duplessis in that.
Yeah, Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. Stacked. That is a good fight. Very good fight.
That's a sick fight. I can't wait for that fight.
Who do you think wins it? If you had to early prediction.
Duplessis.
I feel I have to go with my boot-slaying country folk, man. I have to go with Sean, man.
Shawnee Strickland.
My boot slinger. Yeah, it's hard, man. They're just two different fighters, isn't they?
But after that Adesanya performance, it's like, how do you bet against Strickland? But Duplessis after the Robert Whittaker performance, it's like, this is a hot, like, this is an unbelievable fight.
Both their, but Sean Strickland, after what he done to Adesanya, like, confidence, like he outmastered him. You know what I mean? He outmastered him and showed us 5 rounds. He's got cardio.
Yeah. No, Sean Strickland's always that's never one thing that you could ever say about Strickland. He's got cardio. He's a 5-round fighter. That's why this fight for Duplessis is a more dangerous one to say. Obviously, Duplessis had the nose injury. He couldn't breathe and stuff like that. but Sean Strickland, he can drag you into deep waters. And he can put the same pace on you. He'll drag you into deep waters and put that pace on you for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Can Duplessis sort of get through that against the championship level fighter? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know he went and knocked Robert Whittaker out early, but to get through 25 minutes against which is what you would expect it to be. I wouldn't expect Strickland to knock him out, but 25 minutes of hell.
I think Strickland's a dog, innit? I think he can, like you said, he can just take you to deep waters, and I think he will just grind you and grind you and grind you, because that's the way he trains.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Then we got what in 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time we got the December card. Colby
Leon
versus
Edwards.
Leon.
Yeah.
Big card.
Good fight. And the co-main's Pantoja versus someone, isn't it? I don't know who the guy is, but Pantoja's on the co-main, which I think they could have bolstered up that co-main a little bit.
Yeah,
who else is on it? Ian Gary's on that.
I'm not sure who Pantoja's fighting. Oh, is Ian Gary fighting on it as well?
Ian Gary's on that fight, and so is Paddy Plimbit versus
Tony Ferguson. All right, so the cards, it's not a bad card then.
Yeah, no, it's not.
When's the last time Paddy's fought?
Paddy fought against Gordon and he injured his ankle, I think. I think he come into the fight a bit hurt. Obviously, he a lot of people thought he didn't win that fight. And he said he'd never go into a fight again where he's 50-50.
And Wonderboy Thompson's fighting that 17-0 Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Who's Ian Gary fighting?
Ian Gary's fighting Vincent Luque, yeah.
Well, and they've trained together as well. They've done a lot of training together, Vincente Luque and Ian Machado Gary.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I think. Well, you see all the drama that was it this week that Machado Gary's been kicked out of the gym with Leon.
Yeah, I understand it though. I get it because he is a little bit of a gym hopper. Ian Gary. Right. He's not really got a gym. He's not really got a home. Obviously, me and Ray were listening earlier to John Kavanagh, and he was talking about in Dublin, he's sort of moving around from gym to gym. And in Leon's probably looking at it like, well, he's not my main training partner. He's rising up through the ranks. I could actually be fighting him in the next 2 fights. So does he really owe him anything to keep him at the gym? Does he really want him at the gym? Probably not. He's probably thinking like a champ now, like I want to hold the belt for as long as possible. We're not main training partners or nothing. It's better off if you just sort of
keep.
Why does he hop around gym to gym? What's up with that?
Not sure. He did have a gym. He was training with Killcliff gym in America, but I don't know. He was training with that like Vincente Luque and Rakhmonov. I don't know what's happened. If anything's happened, or he's just wanted a change, I'm not sure. Or if there was conflict of interest because they were all at the stage now where they're all in the top 10 and they could fight each other. I'm not really sure what was going on with that.
He's saying it says to him that he's backstage.
Ask him if he has another email.
Oh, he's there. He's there.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, we can
bring you in right now. Right, people, we are gonna bring on Tommy Kirk, the absolute savage. He's been on an absolute tear this year. His fight nearly was in jeopardy this weekend and got cancelled, but they found a replacement opponent, and we're bringing on the legend, Tom Kirk.
Turn that down. There we go.
How's it going, brother? You alright?
How are you? How are we, boys? Good?
I'm not bad, man. I'm not bad.
There we go. What's going on? How have you been? It's been a while since we've spoke or done one of these.
It's been ages, man. Yeah. How's all the fight? Obviously, since we last had you on, you've had about 15 fights.
Yeah, this will be my 7th this year, so it'll be good. It's good.
7 this year.
Fucking tearing through, man.
It'll be 7 as in as many months because I made the pro debut in April. So, yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Active, busy. I like it.
Did you sort of envision the pros being like that, or is it just worked out like that?
It just seemed to work out that the opportunities have been there, and I've been quite lucky that I haven't picked up any injuries. I've just stayed fresh. I've managed to carry on going, and the opportunities just kept presenting themselves, and just keep taking the fights.
Do you not
How
want to
have
look?
you stayed injury free? How do you think you stayed injury free? Just
Well, to be fair, after the fight I had at York Hall in July against Carl Todd, he took my legs took quite a battering, and I sort of just persevered, and then I got another set of shin guards. So I started wearing 2 pairs of shin guards, and I sort of just carried on doing that. That's quite helped a bit with the shins. But apart from that, yeah, just a lot of running. I don't know. It's just a lot of trying to do a bit of mobility, try and just
just built for it.
try and
Yeah,
not be injury free, really. But
yeah,
been quite lucky. And then if I do pick up a little niggle, just sort of get through it. Really, just go through it.
yeah, yeah.
Have you always been sort of an injury-free kind of guy, even with the amateurs and like maybe when you were playing football and stuff like that? You just
Yeah.
one of them people who don't really get injured that much.
Even as a kid, I didn't have one injury growing up playing football. The only injury I ever had was when I got my leg broken.
So
I
like
got
a major injury. You didn't have no
yeah,
niggles.
no niggles, nothing really. I was always played every game, every season, no injuries whatsoever. So I've been really lucky on that front. I'm just very, yeah, just very
Probably
lucky.
one of them guys, man. Just nimble, isn't it?
Yeah, just.
Unlike this guy, man. He's just tight as fuck.
Yeah, no. I've never thrown a head kick, have I? So I've never thrown a head kick, so I'm not that nimble. Very, very.
Um,
Yeah.
That's
what?
probably what it is. Where I'm so stiff, things just can't move where they should. So
you built a callus in your
I'm
body.
just like a big
Yeah.
block of concrete that just doesn't move.
um, are
Oh.
you sort of excited for this fight? Or are you kind of like, oh, just get it out of the way, enjoy Christmas, or are you like, do you know?
I hate this stage of the last couple of days where I'm just excited to get in there and fight. Now it's the last little bits where you start tapering, you start bringing the training down, and it's sort of, and now all you're just thinking about is I just want to get in there. But no, I had a bit of a break between. I fought in September the 9th down in Bournemouth on Combat Fight Series, and then I carried on training for the next 2 weeks after that because I had a holiday. So went on holiday for 8 nights and then come straight back to training. So it was a nice break in between, and now it's sort of keeps you ticking over, so it doesn't get too mentally like frustrating.
Do you think you're just addicted to training now, though?
Addicted to the fight. I just love having something to strive for.
Yeah,
I need that end goal to just, but then it's never the end goal because it's just a stepping stone. There's never.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I just always need something there to be aiming towards. If I haven't got a fight lined up, it sort of takes the intensity out of it, takes the passion out of it, I suppose. I still love the sport, still love doing it, but without that end, that's something you're striving for. It sort of feels a little bit like you're missing something.
yeah. Obviously you were meant to. You still are fighting this weekend on a stacked card.
Yeah,
Um,
huge.
your opponent dropped out. You got a new one now. What do you know about him? Sort of, I know you're going up in weight. Is it a difference in styles?
Yeah, it'll be a complete clash of styles of what it was going to be against my original opponent. So I got the message Saturday morning. Rory messaged me about 9:30 saying that he's out. He's popped his knee. They're looking for a replacement. And funnily enough, Rory's got a show in 2 weeks' time, the Road to Combat Fight series on the December the 2nd. So I asked him, can you get me matched for that? He said, if you stay injury free, he said, yeah, I'll get you a match. And funnily enough, the bloke that I'm fighting Saturday, was who I was potentially going to be fighting in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
So, yeah, he then got matched because there was another weight that come in to get them matched, but he's obviously took this fight. He's jumped at the opportunity to take the title fight. So I'll see him on Saturday rather than potentially in 2 weeks' time.
What title fight is it? Is it an ISKA title or is it?
No, it's Combat Fight Series British title, yeah,
Okay.
K1 title. So yeah, it's because they've got the minus 67 kilogram category title on Sunday in a really good fight between Levi Thompson and Daniel Vortier. And then Rory said he's going to have to probably up the weight category so it's a minus 70 for this one against Paul.
Yeah.
Against Paul Alexandru. So it saves me a couple of kg to cut. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it's not really a big. Is that a
Nah.
big difference for you?
It
3
would have been
kg.
66 kg to between fighting because I was going to be fighting at 66. So
Yeah.
66 to what I'll be at 69 and a half.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 kilos. It basically means I've got no sweating to do. I'll literally wake up Friday morning on weight, ready to go. So,
but have you got is the opponent sort of a bigger opponent, or are you around similar sizes?
I've seen him. He fought the fight before me when I fought at York Hall in July. He's sort of like my height, bit stockier. He's a big stocky lad. But he's got some good power in his hands. But it'll make for I think a more centre of the ring fight, as whereas my original opponent,
Yeah.
he quite bouncy, moves around, quite like in and out, lots of kicks. So I think this will be just more who can get the centre of the ring and hold it the most. For the
Meeting.
long.
Two balls clashing heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, that's it. It was just like two balls locking horns. So,
Yeah.
I know what ball my money's on.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh shit.
what do you sort of are your goals and aspirations in the sport sort of the same? Obviously, you're on a huge tear. You've been knocking people out. You just sort of been improving after every single fight. Do you sort of want to move on to try and get into glory? Do you want to get into one kickboxing? Like, where do you sort of want to go?
I think it's one of those, like you say, it's every fight. That's my goal after every fight is just to actually look back at the fight and say, oh, I've improved from the fight before. Because that's what you train for. You train so hard to go out there and prove it on the night to yourself that you've improved. I think them things just come along. I think it will just happen. If it happens, it will happen. And if I win a fight on such a, maybe say, like, for example, on Saturday when I win the title and it's a big promotion, put in a good performance, there'll be a lot of eyes on that show. So there'll be a lot of eyes on that show. So potentially could be, I think if it's going to happen, it will happen. It will just happen the way it will. Naturally, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a dream to be, I mean, you've just seen Jonathan Haggerty do it. He's just become
Yeah, beast.
champion, Muay Thai world champion. It's, do you know what I mean? I've seen him in Kedal's gym. I've seen him hitting pads, and it's doable because he's literally living proof. But he is special. So
Have you trained with him?
no, I've never trained with him. I've trained in the same. Like he's been hitting pads with Alan when I've been hitting pads with Rory. I've seen him hit pads, and he's good, isn't he? He's good.
What did you make of his fight, the kickboxing one?
Looked unreal, didn't he? Looked unreal. He just kept him perfect.
He's pepping him, man.
His striking is just so precise. He's never leaning forward. He's never overreaching. He's just perfect. It's everything. His movement is. It was amazing to watch.
In like a perfect world, is that where you'd rather go? Would you rather go to one kickboxing or sort of glory?
I don't know really. It's just see what happens. I mean, I'm open to because they've got the show also Infusion, which is I quite like the Infusion show. Watching like good fight, they always have really good fights on there. They've got a lot of tough Moroccans on there, so I'd really like to test myself against a tough Moroccan.
Yeah.
Yes. He's just back already.
Yeah. You would have been riding horseback in like the 1800s and just fucking slaying people. You were just leading troops into battle. The first one in, always coming out telling war stories.
I don't know, you've got to try and push yourself and test yourself. There's no point.
Nah, you haven't.
As long well, in the same breath, you can only fight who's in front of you. But you know that's the ultimate goal: is to really push yourself and test yourself to the limit of what you can do. And then if I get there and if someone's better than me, I can shake their hand and say, "Well done, you're better than me."
Yeah.
I'll be trying my hardest and keep going to that level.
Is there any names in like the English scene or around sort of the combat fight series, Hitman League sort of level where you're like, do you know what, that's a really good fight for me, or that's a really good matchup, or that's a good fight for the fans?
See the Sunday fight between the one I mentioned earlier between Levi and Daniel Vorsia. I was supposed to fight Levi back in July, but he got injured, so I fought his teammate Carl Todd. So them two, either of them would be a really good fight. Both would be very tough fights. I'm just trying to think of the weight categories and who's number one. And number one in K1, obviously, you've got Mo, who I train with, Mo Abdurrahman. He's a quality fighter. I'm trying to think who else there is. Andy Turland. I want to fight Andy Turland.
Andy Turland.
He's the 67 ISKA world champion. He's number one in the UK.
Yeah.
That's, you know, at this rate, he's got bigger fish to fry than me, who's up and coming. But you know, that's a fight I'd like to have.
Are you still up and coming though?
I don't know.
How many fights has he had? How many fights have these lads had?
He's had. I think he's in the 40s or.
Oh yeah, Andy Turland. He's like an established name. He's been around the block. Like he's an older fighter. But I would say you're more than an up and. Well, I don't know how it works in K1. I don't know, but the tear you've been
Andy
on.
Turland who Rory fought?
Yeah, Rory did fight him back in the
he's
day. Yeah.
more stuff
Yeah.
like
Oh
me.
shit, he's been around then, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been about for time. He's solid. Because he's just fought. He fought last year, I think it was, a lad called Sunai Mifta, who was from Mike's gym, who's just won on Infusion. So he's fought these people that have been on big shows or going to big shows. So and then unfortunately he's had to pull out against Luke, which I would like to see in the rematch. That'd have been a really good watch again. But yeah, that's one of the names. He's number one. He's the target. So he's got a target on his back. I'd like to go and have a go.
And he's in your weight class, yeah.
60-70
Does that mean Luke's in your weight class as well?
Luke usually was fighting at 70 when he was on Glory, I think, but
Yeah.
he's come down to 67 to do the Turlan fight. So I think he's made that weight
fight.
before, yeah. So
Yeah.
But Luke's a big guy. Like, I try to spar with Luke every Friday, and he's a big guy.
That's what I mean. I was thinking when I seen him, I was like, well, he looks like he's massive.
Yeah, he's big, he's strong, he's gets really good rounds in with Luke.
Is it because I see that you're always training with people, you're always sparring, like the Fridays, like you said, you always go down to the Skywalker gym to fight. I think Joe Turner was sparring with you a couple of weeks ago. Is that a main part of your camping, just getting good sparring in?
That's that is the main thing I enjoy the most, is also going around, and then luckily got introduced to all the Skywalker boys when I've done some training there, and then now it's every Friday night I'll go spar with them, because you've got Luke's little brother Jay, who's making his comeback. I love the rounds with Jay, like we push each other so much, and then you've got other people there, like you had Marlon Gillett there. He punches my head off. You've got Donny Smith. He's 15 years old. He's just been to the international tournament. I can't remember what it was called, but he's come back with gold, and he just beats me up. He's 15 years old. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you've got really quality people there.
You just with some killers.
Yeah, Rory set up a Saturday sparring class. And they've had some really good people down there. And then I still go to Keddles and have some great rounds with a few of the lads there. And then there's down at Frank's gym, I've just been Evolution Combat Academy. There's a couple of lads there that I have really good rounds with. So I'm spoiled for choice, and every different partner brings a different part to their game that I have to work on and try and implement in my game. So it's good to have a mixture.
With your sparring, are you just hard sparring, or is some days technical, some days hard?
I'll just spar. Just, sometimes you can feel it out in the round. You feel
It's
it out
just
in the round.
who gives you what, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I don't have a set day of this would be my hard sparring day or this would be my technical sparring day. Like some days you just feel the rounds who you're sparring with, and you slow the pace and then you do whatever, and then other times you're just warring and you just
knuckle down.
Yeah, you just bite down and you go for it, and it's you get a good mixture everywhere. So
obviously I see a lot on your stories in that with your do you do red zone training? I know you track a lot of your heart rate and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've always for the last few years I've bought a heart rate monitor, and I've been tracking a lot of the stuff I do. I track when I'm hitting pads, when I'm sparring, when I'm running, when I'm on we're doing the treadmill, doing the strength and conditioning, whatever. It's just because I like to see especially when I'm hitting pads, because I can have my phone sort of out the side of the ring, and I can see it's more to see the recovery between the rounds. Because if I know my recovery is getting quicker, I know I'm getting fitter. So and then you feel better. So it's just nice to. I'm a bit of a geek with it, because I like going back and checking against it and going all over what I've done, comparing it to previous camps and seeing where I'm at.
Has it made a difference with your S&C in that though? Like your general fitness?
What's that? Just
wearing the heart rate monitor and sort of tracking the numbers?
In a sense, I suppose it's because I can now. I'll see it, and obviously you can judge on feel as well. But when I can look back on a sort of, say, for example, 2 weeks out, and I'm hitting these numbers on an interval work, and I'm thinking, okay, am I hitting these numbers this year? Oh, I'm hitting this camp higher numbers, and I'm feeling better. And you can sort of just look back and compare. And I just like having the data to look at sometimes. I mean,
it's like a good gauge.
Pardon?
Yeah, it's like a good gauge.
Yeah, good gauge to see, because if I know the numbers, I know I'm feeling okay. I know I'm in that right zone to start peaking or whatever, and it's because then.
Are you still looking to fight on the road to CFS?
Of course I am.
He wants another. The geezer's mental. The geezer's mental. The geezer's just mental.
One more can't hurt.
What would that be for the year then? Would that be 8 or 9?
That would be 8 for the year.
That would be 8 for the year.
Yeah, that would be 8 for the year.
8 fights this year. It's nearly a fight a month, man. That's a CTE special.
Yeah, well, do with that when I'm older. Make the most of the time. Now it's sort of, and again, it's where I started late, and it's sort of just in a sense of playing catch up. And like I said, like Turner's got 30, 40 50 fights. All these lads have got like 40, 50 fights, and it's just trying to get that experience. And the only way you can get that experience is by fighting. So just taking the opportunities while I'm there, injury free. And if I come out of this unscathed and Rory can get me a match, then yeah, I'll go for it. I'm happy to go for it.
I suppose when you get into the fights, you're not really, a lot of them at the minute have, well, like, credit to yourself, you've not really been doing a lot of 5-rounders, 3-rounders. Like, you've been kind of getting them out there pretty early, pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple, so there's 6 so far. 4 of them have been by stoppage. So the last 3 I've taken out in the first or the second round. So it's sort of, kept me quite fresh.
Had some harder spars.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, it's sort of, I've been relatively unscathed, and I can just keep pushing. So yeah, like, I haven't had like you say, like a 5-round war yet that really takes it out of me and makes me think, oh, maybe I do need a bit of time off to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not getting paid for overtime, man.
Exactly. Like you say, I'm fresh and injury free. Just keep lining them up. And I'll keep taking them out.
That's brilliant. What did you think of the Chelsea game? I know you're a massive Chelsea fan. What did you think of the Chelsea game over the weekend? Man City.
Nah, City game. Mate, we played well. We did do well, and then we just slip. We just don't do enough in certain areas of the game. But Cole Palmer, what a legend that boy is. Absolute star he is. I think we've been really, really quite poor, but we've kicked on now, and I think we'll start picking up again.
Yeah, I think over the last couple games, you have looked pretty solid.
Yeah, we're in the top 10 now, so we're in the top half of the table again. So that's a good start. But yeah, just little, smaller games you think we should be winning. We're just giving results away, and now it's going to take Poch time, a little bit of time to get the team to stick and know which the best players to play in what positions. But I think it will come. I think we'll start coming along nicely now.
That's brilliant. Have we missed anything regarding your fight or regarding you or anything going on or anything like that?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, Rain, anything else from you?
Nah,
Mikey,
man,
anything from you?
The Warlord. To keep at it.
Nah, I think we're good. Tom, thank you for coming on and gracing us with your presence. We'll catch up with you over the next side of next year or something like that. We'll try to get you back on. We'll try and make something happen. Maybe we'll do a gym tour down one of your gyms or something like that.
When am I? I'm working away again. I'm over where I was before, the 14th of December, I think, for a week or a week and a half, and then potentially somewhere in January, somewhere near you, I think.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch, man. We'll get it done. Obviously, we love having you. You're a standout bloke, top guy.
I appreciate it, boys. Appreciate you having me again. Thank you.
No, we appreciate it. Obviously, anyone who hasn't got a ticket for the fight yet, go and get a ticket. The pay-per-view link will be out. One thing I did want to say to you actually as well. I noticed you're not on the main card, man. You've been a bit disrespected for that.
Oh no! I mean, it's like, you see the caliber of them fights on the top on the main card, and you've got a lot of A class, and it's Hitman Fight League, mainly a Thai show. So Combat Fight Series, mate, we've got a lot of good Thai guys on it. So it's not disrespectful. It's just a push to get up to that main card next time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the card, there's some unbelievable fights on there. I'm just honoured to be part of it. I still obviously see myself, like I say, up and coming. I still see myself as lucky to be on a stage like that. So I've just got to keep pushing on, and my time will come eventually.
Yeah, that's brilliant. The most humble, savage in the fight game, Tom Kirk. Tom, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you so
Cheers,
much,
Tom, man. Best of luck, brother.
What a guy! He's going to go out there and get it done. He's looking for 8 this year. The boy's a savage.
Well, 8, 9, no?
No, this is his 7th, and then he wants another one,
7th,
and then he's hopefully get another one. And I think even if he doesn't get it on the road to CFS, he'll try to get one around Christmas. Boy's a savage.
You'd give him one on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
He'd take it.
You give him one on Christmas Day.
He's a warrior, man.
Day, I think he'd do 2. But
Are we got coming on now?
no, we all the guests are done now.
All right,
Yeah.
people. I'm sorry. I love you, Olivia, but I need to go to jiu-jitsu.
No, Charlie is Mike. You may as well come back in. People can't hear you.
I need to make my way to as
Yeah.
Tom's talking about getting hands, I want to go get some hands.
Yeah, Rain, we'll catch up with you.
Yeah. Thank
another
you.
time. Thank you for coming
It's
on.
been an honour.
Get out then.
Everyone's like, how'd you leave this? I don't even know how to leave this.
There you go, bye. See you later. I'll remove you.
Mike's the savage. Mike's anything we missed or any trending? I sent some trending topics, didn't I? I do want to touch on the. This is something I've just been seeing all over my YouTube, and obviously it's a combat live stream, so we'll touch on combat. HS Tiki Toki versus Zerka. For anyone who don't know, obviously HS Tiki Toki, massive TikTok star, obviously hanged around with Ed Matthews and that. He's gone over to America and he's sort of in this like kick streaming world. And John Zerka's obviously big in the kick stream world just for sort of the disrespectful things he said towards women and stuff like this and all of this sort of stuff. This shit over there has gone too far. It's like a GTA game. It's generally, I was watching it the other day, it's generally like a GTA game.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like
that was like Vice City.
Yeah, no, honestly, like you had about 3 or 4 people streaming on Kick in the same area of Miami. John Zerka's streaming, he's pulled up on HS. HS is streaming because he's on a date with his missus. Zerka's tried to fight him in the street. HS has fought him. Then some other guys got rushed by someone, like later down the line. Like the timeline of events was crazy.
It was weird, yeah. For some reason, when I first watched it, I thought it was staged. But I don't think it is it, at all?
No, I don't think it's staged, but you don't know these days.
Yeah, you don't.
You generally don't know what's real and what's not. And if they're like, do you know what, let's set this up for clicks or views or whatever.
Yeah, nah. To be fair, let's actually speak about the first bit. It's like, he walks up, approaches him, and he misses the glass. Doesn't he? He dashes a glass or a bottle at him. And he completely misses. Blimmin' hell.
But what are you doing? I thought HS handled himself well.
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting there with his missus. Glass has just come flying at him.
I think he gained a lot of respect from people, though, man.
100%.
Because I didn't really think I thought he wasn't really about it before, but like he held himself well.
He held himself well, and obviously you got Zerka going in. I think he tried to like right hook him. I'm not sure if he caught him or missed. HS chucks him on the floor. He gets back up, drops him with a left hook. Zerka ended up on top, but I'd give that fight. I'd give that a dub for HS.
Yeah, same. How much do you reckon? How much you want to bet that HS is on the new one of the new Misfits cards now that that's come out?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah,
I think
it'd be interesting to see.
I think he does well on a Misfit card. HS, because I think someone when the videos I was watching, I think he done karate when he was younger, and he's just a big builded guy.
He's big, man.
You when you watch him like spar and that, he has a basic understanding of throwing punches and that, and he's not obviously scared to go in there and have a knock. So he's already got all the fundamentals to go and beat like just some fucking random YouTuber or random TikToker. Maybe not someone with fight experience who's been fighting, who's had a good few fights, but I think he could get in there and do some damage. I think that'd be a good addition to the Misfits.
No, I agree. I think he's an entertainer at the end of the day, and he'll bring in numbers.
Yeah. But anyone who's not seen it, obviously we can't actually put nothing up about it, because I've seen online they said that any videos that are sort of getting put up, their channels are getting taken down and all sorts. So, but if you just type in HS Tiki Toki, and
HS Tiki Toki,
yeah, and John Zerka, mate, is one of the funniest things you'll watch this week. I'm not even lying. I was creasing.
Yeah.
And then we've got Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. Did Francis Ngannou win the fight, or or did Fury win robbery? I know we had a few debates in the group chat. What's your opinion, Mike?
My opinion is I think Tyson Fury won the fight. The reason why I feel like everyone's saying he didn't is the fact that they didn't think it would be even close.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was as close as it was, I feel like people have morally gave the victory to Francis. But yeah, I don't think he won. I think he hit some of the better punches, but for most, I think for like 7 or 8 of the rounds, he got outboxed. Like he was coming in and he was getting hit. like typical Tyson Fury wasn't nowhere near himself. I watched an interview I think earlier today. It was with Usyk, and he was saying when he fights him, he's not preparing for what he saw. He's preparing to have a way better Tyson Fury fight him. He feels like he didn't take him too seriously.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree on, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if Ngannou got the nod. I don't think he necessarily won the fight, but I think if they gave it to Ngannou, I wouldn't have really argued it. Like vice versa for Fury, I'm not really arguing it's a robbery. It's a draw could have been fair, but then realistically, they've just announced the Usyk fight. There's billions, millions, hundreds of millions, whatever on the table. Even if Ngannou won, like dropped him 2 more times, they're not giving that fight to Ngannou.
yeah,
He
they're
could
not.
not win. He could not go out of there as a winner. They just can't happen. There's too much money on
Exactly.
the line.
Yeah,
And,
no,
and,
exactly.
and like you said,
man.
I agree with you. I think it's because Ngannou done a lot better than what everyone thought, and Fury done a lot worse than what we thought. We thought Ngannou wouldn't be able to land a glove on him, and Ngannou drops him. So I don't think people are scoring it because it wasn't a high scoring card. It wasn't like there wasn't a lot of punches. Like it was sort of just it wasn't the best fight, but it was a good spectacle.
Yeah, it was. Do you see today that WBC announced that Francis Ngannou is actually in the top 10 rankings now?
Yeah, I
See
see
that?
that
Yeah.
on the day that he won. They said they were going to put him in the top 10
Oh,
rankings.
did they?
I
Yeah.
see
Well,
Eddie
he
Hearn.
lost. He lost. You say
Oh yeah,
they
lost.
won.
Yeah.
But he won in the court
He
of
did.
public
He
opinion.
kind
He
of
did
like
win.
when you look at it. I think Fury lost and Ngannou won. Even
Yeah,
though Fury
it's
won,
true.
but Ngannou
It's a
kind of come out of a
moral
winner.
victory for Ngannou. Yeah,
he
and
just
the fact that he's gonna go on now to, I reckon he won't. I can't see him fighting MMA again.
no, neither.
The only fight I could ever see him happening would have been John Jones, and Dana White come out last week and said that, like, that's a mugs game. That ain't ever happening. He's tried to make it, so I feel like he is going to go and run through the boxes, man.
And I think you give him a good chance against a Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua and Fury, I think it's just been announced, not Fury, Wilder, that they are going to be fighting on the same card.
As Usyk Fury.
No, as Wilder, I don't know who Wilder's fighting. I think Wilder might be fighting Parker.
And who's
then
Joshua?
AJ. Let me get it up. I'm pretty sure.
I haven't even seen this. Why are they doing Wilder part? Why don't they just do Joshua flipping Wilder? That's the fight we want to see. No, I don't want to see none of these rematch clauses. I don't want to see anything like that because that just holds up everything for ages. Because then it's guaranteed 2 fights. I just want to see a good old fashioned.
So Joshua's going to be fighting Otto Wallin with Wilder taking on Joseph Barker. So
on the same card. Who's
on
going
the
to
same
top the
card.
bill?
I've got to say, you've got to say
It's Joshua. It has to be Joshua.
You say, yeah, it's got to be Joshua, but then I think the other fight's like too big a name.
The other fight's better. The other fight's better. No one wants to see AJ fight Otto Wallin. We just went from Dylan White, who he was meant to fight. Obviously, he got done for steroids, whatever. And now we're going down to Otto Wallin. It's like, come on, man. What's going on?
Man. Yeah, exactly. And the end game is by the end of next year, we want to have seen both Wilder versus AJ and then Fury versus Usyk. But
I don't even know if that's even...
Man.
Yeah, the way boxing is, I think in UFC, you say that probably happens. In boxing, you say...
that definitely happens in the UFC.
Yeah, in boxing, you say just the pettiness it would take for Wilder and Joshua to even make the fight.
Yeah.
It's just going to take ages, and then there's going to be rematch clauses and all of this. Like, if it was just one and done, you just go Joshua Wilder, bang. Joshua and the winner out of Usyk and Fury. Or even if Fury loses, you'd want to see maybe do Wilder, Usyk, and Joshua Fury because you still that fight. It doesn't matter if there's belts on the line. Doesn't matter
that
if
has
they're
to
coming
happen.
off 10 fight losing streaks each. Fury and Joshua. That fight's still the biggest British fight you can make. Anyway, doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah, man. Well,
Doesn't matter if
it
they've
would
both
be
just
the
been
biggest
knocked
fight
out.
in boxing. I don't think any fight will top that. Like even if like you said, he lost his belts to Usyk, and then he goes and fights AJ, if it's in Saudi or it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that's the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing.
100%. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. I think we're all about done, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we've smashed it out, man.
Stream.
Guests have been in and out.
A lot of people have come in. I've really enjoyed this one. Sometimes obviously because we're not all doing it in the same room and stuff like that. But I think it's actually worked out maybe a little bit better
Yeah, I
doing
think
it
so.
like
Yeah,
this.
I agree. Yeah.
So people, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you have enjoyed it, leave comments. Make sure you go back and watch the Ticey interview, the Joe Turner interview, the Tom Kirk interview. Darren Jones come on to talk about Luton Town. So make sure you go back and watch all of them. And just keep following us, man. Keep following us. We're trying it. We're trying to get here. We're going to be here. We're here for the long run. And thank you for tuning in, people.